What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 3GT. Chapter 051 Prepare to punch Akainu and kick Kizaru. At this time, Logue Town. In the smoky room, a sailor came to report in panic. Colonel Smoker, something is wrong, Monkey D. Lupu has come to Logue Town. In the room, Smoker, with 2 cigars in his mouth, changed his expression slightly after hearing this. It's really here, are you really not afraid of death? For Lupu, Smoker originally had a good impression. The approach is very just, it has helped many civilians, and made many islands and even countries peaceful and better. Drive away the evil pirates, and remove some mobs in the marine. Although some marines were killed, in Smoker's view, it was not an enemy of marines, but a righteous thing to do. It's not that marine is all justice, Lupu's approach makes him feel that it is real justice. Smoker sighed softly. It's a pity that he has dangerous ideas and wants to overthrow the world government, the celestial dragons, and become the new king of the world. Smoker thought it was too bold, and it was a pity. It would be great if he could join Marine. He is a righteous person, but it's a pity that he has wrong ideas. Smoker stood up, the Marine reminded. Major Smoker, don't have a direct conflict with Lupu now, after all, you have Admiral strength. And, the Marshal has already informed that as long as Lupu is still in Logue Town, then don't worry about it. Only when he wants to leave, he will be in Buster Call with the 2 admirals. If they leave before they arrive, we need to stop them and buy Admiral time. To deal with Lupu, give it to Buster Call and the 2 admirals. The existence 10 with a bounty of 3 billion is not something we can solve. This is the order of Marshal Sengoku. So, let's surround here first, and don't worry about Lupu. Be quiet. Smoker let out a low cry, and the sea soldier shut up in fright. Smoker stood up and said, I understand what the Marshal means. I have my own ideas and don't conflict. Besides, since I took charge of this town, have you let the pirates leave this town again? This, indeed not, but the other party is 3 billion. Esberg said in a deep voice. Calm down, don't panic, or you will disrupt my pace. Don't worry, he won't be let go until Buster Call arrives. At this time, another sailor came in to report. Colonel Smoker, Lupu is in port. Smoker asks. What action? No, we didn't get close, we just hid nearby and stared. Smoker couldn't figure it out more and more. What exactly does he want to do? Does he not know what he is about to face next? Or is he born in East Blue and hasn't made a living yet, so he is really short-sighted? You hide his strength, it must have been discovered, but it was ignored. Without further thought, Smoker walked out of the room. Colonel, don't you want to see the reward order? Smoker shook his hand. No need, isn't it said that he looks very similar to Vice Admiral Garp when he was young, so if I see it, I will recognize it at a glance. Hai Bing felt the same way, it was indeed very similar. Smoker leaves and walks down the street to find Lupu. He has long wanted to meet this man, the grandson of Vice Admiral Garp, who has a great sense of justice, but has wrong thoughts. If you don't have this idea, it's fine. At this time, a little girl was happily holding an ice cream, and accidentally bumped into Smoker's leg, and the ice cream touched her knee. The girl's father's face changed in surprise. Colonel Smoker, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. The girl's father kept apologizing, and the little girl looked up with tears in her eyes. Smoker knelt down and put his hand on the girl's head, showing his gentle side. He looks fierce, but has a gentle heart. Sorry, my pants ate your ice cream, go get some more. Smoker handed the little girl some money. The little girl was very happy, and the father was also relieved. Colonel Smoker was so kind. You are really a gentle Marine. Among the Marines, I have a rare liking for you. You are the second one I have met. Hearing the sudden words, Smoker looked for the sound, his face changed, and he recognized it at a glance. Monkey D. Lupu. It was Lupu who spoke. Smoker sighed softly. What a coincidence, I just happened to be looking for you. As expected, he is the grandson of Vice Admiral Garp. He looks very similar and is very strong. He is a 19-year-old admiral. I have heard about your deeds, and I have an impression of you. Very good, but unfortunately, I have a bad idea. Lupu shook his head. Nothing bad. Smoker wondered why. You should know that the force sent by Marine to catch you is coming, but you have no hiding and no other force. Are you looking for death? Or, like Kaido, you feel that you can't kill yourself? Lupu shook his head. I won't learn from anyone, you are right about one thing, I don't think I can kill myself. This made Smoker laugh. The combat power sent here is not what you can imagine, and you can understand it. After all, you have just been out to sea for a long time, and you still don't know the pattern and combat power of this sea. You are Admiral level, very powerful, but 2 admirals are here. Plus Buster Call. The lineup of Buster Call, you probably don't know, is made up of. Lupu interrupted. Needless to say, those who don't understand will soon know, and the whole world will understand why I am like this. This made Smoker frown, and his tone was still friendly at the moment. I admire your grandfather very much, the real justice, I am the second Marine you have a crush on, the first is your grandfather. Smoker solemnly reminded. Monkey D. Lupu, turn around, maybe there is still salvation. It can be seen that you are righteous, but you just have bad thoughts. You should join Marine instead of having such thoughts. In this way, you can escape a catastrophe would also make Vice Admiral Garp happy. Advertisement. Lupu shook his head. If I wanted to be, I wouldn't reject Grandpa many times. Justice. If a righteous person works for a ruler with many problems, then it's not really justice. As soon as these words came out, Smoker's heart was shocked and he began to think. Celestial dragons, he was not fond of, but there was nothing he could do about it. Smoker said. This world cannot be truly perfect. I can't stop changing because of this. The current ruler should be changed. Celestial dragons, I will end it. A righteous marine like you can be my subordinate in the future. Smoker frowned. You are courting death. You are only a strong person, and you cannot succeed. What you are doing now is courting death. My proposal is your only way out. Lupu didn't say anything more and was about to leave. Smoker sighed. I want to see you, I just want to persuade you, it seems that I can only be an enemy. Lupu corrected. Temporary enemies, some people will be permanent enemies, but some are just positions. When they are equal to the same position, they are not enemies. Smoker said. It means that you become the new king of the world, and first, as Marine, will be your subordinate. Yes, Grandpa, and Marine, who I think is just, will too. I can only stop you, after all, we are the enemy now. Smoker prepares to strike. Lupu reminded. You are far from my opponent. Far. Smoker was a little annoyed. You are very strong, but don't underestimate me. Smoker is also aware of Lupu's strength. Facing him, it should be treated as facing Admiral. So, Smoker is straight up going all out. White Gale. The smoke fruit's ability exploded, and the four Morgans turned into smoke, and Lupu was caged. White smoke launcher. Smoker suddenly turns a part of the body into smoke, and in an instant can generate explosive reaction force by spraying smoke to move and fly quickly. The speed was so fast that it was hard to detect. Smoker burst out in an instant in the smoke behind Lupu, punching out with all his strength. Even if I'm Colonel Marine, it's impossible for me to be far behind Lupu, right? I'm not that unbearable. However, the next moment, Smoker was stunned. I saw that Lupu turned around in an instant, his attack stopped in an instant, and the smoke around and on his body also dissipated. One's own fruit ability is generally invalid in an instant. His fist stopped because it was blocked by Lupu. What was blocked was not Lupu's fist, but a right index finger covered in pitch black. This shocked Smoker. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't move forward. How is 323 possible? It's just a finger. My strength can't shake it at all. How can the gap be so big? Smoker was shocked. Even for the Admiral class, it is impossible for the gap to be so big. And, I can't elementize myself, why? Not to mention the current Smoker, even the Smoker who has mastered Haki 2 years later is too small in front of him. Lupu said. This is Haki. The king of this world is not the ability of Devil Fruit. Only Haki is above everything else. If the main force is strong enough, even the fruit ability will fail. This shocked Smoker, who couldn't believe it, didn't know it at all, and taught himself a lesson. Lupu retracted his index finger and attacked in the next moment. The attack method made Smoker even more astonished, and at the same time felt ashamed, because Lupu just flicked it with his fingers. Stop kidding. Admiral wouldn't treat me like that. Smoker was annoyed, he underestimated himself too much, and the stone house retracted and blasted out. Boom. Ah. However, with a scream, Smoker flew upside down, and the terrifying and irresistible force made him unable to stop. Lupu, on the other hand, stood still. This surprised Smoker that his cognition was broken and his world view would collapse. With just a flick of the fingers, he was blown away, it was irresistible, his arm was in severe pain, even a bone was broken, and the corner of his mouth was bleeding, how could he be so powerful? Smoker was directly stunned. Smoker flew 1,000 meters away and landed at the port. The shock in his heart was unbearable, and he lay on the ground with his head facing the sea. Looking back, Smoker saw small black spots on the sea in the distance, approaching quickly, and saw the outlines clearly, they were warships. Buster Call and 2 admirals are here. Smoker felt that it was a pity. Monkey D. Lupu, you are very strong, you can really surpass Vice Admiral Garp, but unfortunately you went the wrong way, it would be great if you became a Marine. I want to wish you good luck, but, you can't leave this log town, we'll die here like Roger did. At this time, Lupu looked towards the sea, and naturally saw it too. Lupu looked calm and interested. It's finally here. Chapter 052 Ace. Big brother, don't worry. At this time, Log Town panicked even more. Buster Call is coming. Really 2 admirals plus Buster Call. Admiral, Akainu, Admiral, Kizaru. Even Log Town may be destroyed, get out of here. Monkey D. Lupu wants to die, but he can even marry us. For a moment, more people in Log Town fled in panic. The civilians are also panicking, and they don't want to suffer. Are we going to be okay? Our home is here. It should be fine. They're targeting Lupu, not us. However, if you think about it too much, even if the target is yourself, with Akainu's style, he will do whatever it takes, so it doesn't matter if Log Town is destroyed and all the civilians here are dead. In his view, all sacrifices are worthwhile, as long as a crime like Lupu can be solved. At this time, the country's magic order was on board the warship. Akainu picks up the phone bug. Sengoku is calling. Sengoku said solemnly, it has been confirmed that Monkey D. Lupu has not left Log Town. This mission has been extremely successful. His potential is too great, and his ideas are too dangerous. We cannot give him time to grow. Now it is powerful alone, but if it continues like this, it will inevitably become more and more powerful. Also, in order to cooperate with the Revolutionary Army. Akainu was relieved, looking at the outline of Logue Town in the distance. The cloak of justice fluttered. It's fine if you don't leave, then, prepare to be buried in Logue Town. Kizaru lay down again. This time he didn't want to make any effort. In his opinion, he didn't need to make a move himself. Buster Call and Akainu were enough. Sengoku reminded. You have to shoot with all your strength. Although you can take him down with Buster Call, there will inevitably be sacrifices. Therefore, you have to win with more advantage. Therefore, you and Pelusolino have to go all out. Go, don't be careless. Hearing this, Kizaru had no choice but to get up. It seemed impossible to want to be at ease. Hang up the phone. In their opinion, Lupu must die. With 2 admirals, plus Buster Call and a Whitebeard, Akainu is confident. The flying squirrel asked. Sakazuki Admiral, is the combat order issued now? What kind of combat method? Bombard first, then consume him with firepower. This made the flying squirrel's face change. But, there are many civilians in Logue Town. The goal is Lupu. Even if there are civilian sacrifices, it is worth it. If Lupu's crime is not eliminated, it will be a greater disaster. Success often comes at a price, which is inevitable. Akainu's extreme justice made the flying squirrel look heavy. The flying squirrel suggested. The second plan can be used. The 2 admirals and Buster Call's powerful combat forces will attack and siege, so that no one else will be affected. In that case, is the Buster Call just a display? Akainu's face darkened. This made the flying squirrel say nothing. Do as Sakazuki Admiral says, feel free to attack. Keep going, it will start when there are 500 meters away from Logue Town. At this time, there are already news ships from all over the world around Logue Town. They started to get busy, like ants on a hot pot, just because Lupu was still in Logue Town, and Admiral and Buster Call also came. Print quickly. Big news is coming. Quick shot. The efficiency is very fast, and soon, densely packed newspapers fly to the distance under the spread of news birds. The first thing to know is the nearby islands and countries. In the newspapers, there are Logue Town, Lupu from King Offshore, and Buster Call from far away. Here we go. This battle is really about to break out. To witness history, the attention of this battle is extremely high. Although everyone knows the result, they will pay attention to the process. I really went to Logue Town, just in time to meet Marine, and Monkey D. Lupu is going to be finished. The crime will be dealt with. Actually, I don't think it's a crime. I've heard his deeds and it's just. If the world can be better ruled and change better, we will live better and be fine. What a guts. To be honest, many people in Celestial Dragons hate it, but they dare not speak out. Most people don't know about Celestial Dragons, they still worship them, but I have been to Sabayati, and I have seen the ugly faces of Celestial Dragons. Leaving this aside, the world will still be ruled by Celestial Dragons. The outcome of this battle is doomed. After all, Lupu is like an ant when facing Marine and world government, even at the Admiral level. Yeah, it's far from enough. It's not like the 4 Emperors Regiment, which has a huge force and strong subordinates. It's also not like the Revolutionary Army, which has power spread all over the place, and it's just one person. Thinking of Bullet, he's also strong alone, but he's reading newspapers in Impel Down right now. At this time, not only the vicinity of Logue Town, but also all over the world gradually know about it. Because, there are broadcasts in many places. The news agencies' voices sounded together with the broadcasts in their respective places, and they began to have special broadcasters in charge. Immediately, broadcasts in many places sounded. Monkey D. Lupu appeared in Logue Town, did not choose to hide, and Buster Call is not far away. The battle is about to begin. The battle is about to break out in 10 minutes. Advertisement. I will broadcast the facts anytime. The whole world did not shake, but waiting for the result that they expected in their hearts, which was Lupu's capture. At this time, the 4 emperors are also paying attention. Big Mom, Kaido, all think the same, Lupu is going to die. Red Hair Pirates. The Red Hair frowned. This lineup, even for me, is hard to beat. If it's him alone, I don't think he can win. The cadres all know how strong the boss is, and the single-handed admiral win rate is very high. Even with an admiral plus Buster Call, the boss can retire. After all, the military strength is equivalent to nothing in front of the boss Conqueror's haki. Even Marine Vice Admiral, it is difficult to play combat power. But, 2 admirals, it's pretty strong. Beckman frowned. Although Lupu has Conqueror's haki as strong as the boss, but, alone, he will lose. Usopp sighed. It's a pity, such a monster is about to end at the beginning. Lackey Road. Like Roger, it ends in Logue Town. Even Shanks thought the same way, thought of Bullet. Why do you want to be alone, hey? The Whitebeard pirates. The captain sighed. Ace didn't catch up. Unfortunately, if you are Daddy's son, then you are not alone, and we are the Whitebeard pirates. This battle is about to break out. Ace wrote back and said it was coming soon. For a moment, the captain, Whitebeard and others looked heavy, worried, and frowned. It would be fine if the Ace was far away, but it's almost there. In this case, if Ace witnessed the scene where his elder brother was dealt with by Marine, then, how painful it would be. As Ace's family members, they naturally don't want to make Ace suffer like this, but there is no way. I hope Ace, you won't see it with your own eyes. Whitebeard said. With Ace, there is also Vista. I specially arranged it, Just because I was afraid that after learning about Lupu's misfortune, I would lose my mind and take revenge instead of leaving. In Whitebeard's view, it is difficult for Lupu to survive in such a battle. I also know that the relationship between Ace and his eldest brother will definitely lose his mind, so he arranged for Vista to be together. Mariajoy. The 5 elders are also paying attention. Quote. This battle has sounded the alarm to the world. It would be great if such a mindless guy came out, and he could make an example of others. It's just a pity, it would be great if he became a Marine, we have one more powerful force to do things. Choose the wrong path, then be like Roger. He must die, or Lord I Am will be very angry. Don't worry about Lord I Am getting angry, because today is the day of his death next year. At this time, I Am didn't pay attention. After all, if you don't take Lupu seriously, besides, in Im's eyes, the outcome of this matter is inevitable, so it doesn't deserve my attention as the king of the world. At this point, a small yellow flame-powered sailboat was 5 nautical miles from Logue Town. The 2 figures above are Ace and Vista. For the first time, they got to the newspaper. Ace looked at the newspaper, his face darkened. My eldest brother is in Logue Town not far away, and Buster Call is faster than me, and he is about to arrive. As soon as possible. Beast's face was heavy, but he still reminded him. Ace, it's too dangerous. Even with your and my help, it's useless and can't change the result. So, let's leave. Ace directly refused. No, I'm going to help Big Brother. Vista, you don't want to participate later. After all, he is his elder brother, but it has nothing to do with Vista, he has to make a move. Vista shook his head, persuading. I'm not afraid of death, the king's ace, if I want to save someone, I believe you won't leave, but, doing this is sending you to death. Dad arranged for me to follow, and I'm also worried you still have Daddy and us. Moreover, if your big brother knows that you are in danger because of him, he will die with regret and more pain. So, let's leave, Daddy and they don't want you to have something to do, your big brother I don't want you to be implicated either. Ace's expression was complicated, and he didn't want to worry his father and the others, but he couldn't just leave like this. Knowing that his elder brother was in danger, and he was obviously not far away, it was impossible for him to leave. Ace is firm. Vista, don't persuade me anymore, I have to go, even if it is a sea of swords, even if it is hell, I will fight side by side with my brother and escape with him. Vista sighed. Persuasion was useless, and he also underestimated the friendship between Ace and Lupu. They are not brothers, but they are better than brothers. Ace, since this is the case, let's get closer together. Although this is not what the father thinks, but there is no way, I can't let Ace go alone. Speeding up the sail, Ace looked into the distance, worried. Brother, don't die, guilty. Sabo has left and doesn't want to lose his brother anymore. Windmill Village. Luffy stopped practicing, and when he heard the radio, his expression changed, and he looked towards the direction of the sea, full of worry. Brother, don't worry about anything, we still have to meet at sea. Chapter 053 I am using Uranus against Lupu. Knowing the terrifying team that his brother will face, Luffy can't wait to fly over now. But, that's impossible, therefore, I can only pray and believe that my brother will be fine. Brother he understood, certainly not stupid. The village chief was puzzled. Why are you so bold and not hiding it? Makino worried. Lupu, don't worry. Dayton and the others were also extremely worried. In Dayton's heart, Luffy, Lupu, and Ace were all her children. Garp B****************, D, are you going to stand by? What Marine, can't you stand with your family? Lupu is going to have an accident, are you still at naval headquarters? Luffy believes. Everyone, don't panic, pay attention to the follow-up, brother will be fine, brother is very strong, even in such a battle, brother must have his own way. It's useless to worry, you can only continue to pay attention. Even so, the tension and worry in Luffy's heart are the same as Ace's. Many people worry about Kokoja Village, Silab Village, and other islands and countries covered by Lupu. Nami prayed. Master Lupu, you must live. Naval headquarters. Sengoku relaxed a lot, as if this headache would end with the victory of justice. In his view, it is inevitable. Buster Call plus 2 admirals, how can Lupu escape? A sailor came and was joyful. There is no trace of the revolutionary army. This made Sengoku feel more at ease, as long as the dragon does not appear and help, then Lupu will die. Garp's heart sank. Although he didn't find it, it doesn't mean that the dragon won't appear 100%. After all, it is very difficult to see the whereabouts of the dragon. Garp is in a complicated mood and wants to help, but he can't. The only hope is on the dragon. Dragon, you must show up and save Lupu. At this time, Logue Town. Lupu looked indifferent, and the news boats in the distance kept catching him. So calm. 193 inches, what is there to rely on? Still no reliance, pure self-confidence. Lupu's indifference was soon known by the world. Looking at the fleeing civilians in panic, Lupu said, from today, Logue Town will be my territory, and Marine will be driven away by me, so since it is my territory, nothing will happen here, even in the face of Buster Call. This shocked the civilians. Really, Monkey D. Lupu's territory is really safe. But, it's impossible, it's hard to protect yourself. If so, it's even more dangerous. Lupu was helpless and didn't say anything anymore. Looking at the warship approaching in the sea ahead, it was no longer a small black spot, and the distance was no longer close to the corn. Clatter. Suddenly, it rained heavily in Logue Town, the wind was howling, the nearby sea was turbulent, and the sky was dark. Such a change of weather was very sudden. Last second, the sky was clear and clear, but now it is howling with strong wind and heavy rain. Most people don't think about anything, thinking that the weather in this world is normal. But in Lupu's heart, he guessed it. At this time, the advancing warship slowed down, not so fast. On the one hand, it is because we are approaching, and it is impossible to get close to the port. We have to stop on the sea far away from Log Town, so that the true power of the warship's firepower can be brought into play. On the other hand, it was the sudden heavy rain. Stallo Berry looked at the dark sky, the heavy rain howling, and was puzzled. What a sudden storm. Huo Shaoshan. It was quiet a few seconds ago, but this is not the Grand Line, something abnormal. Flying Squirrel frowned, his heart trembled. Could it be? What did you think of? The Flying Squirrel is dignified. In the past, we didn't know much about the dragon, but every time he appeared, it would be accompanied by strong wind or wind and rain, so. This made the vice admirals look heavy. Who knows, the dragon is coming. It's very BAAC likely, after all, that Monkey D. Lupu is the grandson of Vice Admiral Garp, then the son of the dragon. This matter resounds throughout the world, and the dragon must know. However, according to the news just sent from the headquarters, there is no trace of the Revolutionary Army. Perhaps, only Long came alone, so even if the CPO came here, it would be difficult to find the trace of Long. If the dragon joins, then it's hard to say. Akainu's voice was low. Don't think too much, it's not confirmed yet. Even if the dragon comes, this dangerous and evil father and son will be dealt with together. Kazaru felt a little heavy in his heart and felt a headache. Originally, I wanted to go to class and get a task easily, but I didn't want the dragon to appear. In that way, if the dragon and Lupu are added, then it will be an extremely difficult task, and it may be necessary to work hard to complete the task. Kazaru said. Sakazuki, let's ask the Marshal, if the dragon appears, will the operation continue? Akainu Iron Blood. It must continue. If you leave, where will Marine's face be placed? This time, it can be said to be worldwide, and must be overcome. Still, Sengoku figured it out. Sengoku frowned, worried. Suddenly there was a storm. After Garp heard it, he felt relieved, then maybe the dragon really came. If that's the case, that's great, Lupu still has hope of surviving. Marshal, and behind Buster Call, there is a small pirate sailboat with familiar figures on it, the two captains of the Whitebeard pirates, the second captain, Fire Fist Ace, and the fifth captain, Foil Vista. Sengoku knew in his heart that since he knew the identity of Fire Fist Ace, he began to check where he went to sea, so he knew everything. It's just that there is no sound. After all, it's about Garp. As for Fire Fist Ace, he became sworn brothers with Luffy and Lupu. Lupu is the big brother of Ace and Luffy. So, Fire Fist Ace appeared, and Sengoku got it. Advertisement. Sengoku also investigated in advance. The Whitebeard pirates did not come, they are still in New World, only the two captains came. This made Sengoku's face even more serious. Lupu, Dragon, Fire Fist Ace, Foil Vesta, if they have these combat powers, then this mission will not be sure. Sengoku prayed in his heart. I hope this weather is just an accident, as long as the dragon does not appear, then the Fire Fist Ace will come, it will be fine instead. From Sengoku's point of view, Lupu, Ace, and Vista are invincible against two admirals and Buster Call. So the most important thing now is to see if the dragon will appear. Sengoku contacts Akainu. Be cautious, first look for the dragon to appear, and don't be caught by surprise. If the dragon does appear, this battle will continue, and you have to do your best. It has already created momentum, and the whole world is paying attention, so it is impossible to retreat, and the Marine and world government will be disgraced like that. And, Long and Lupu, both are men with the most dangerous ideas, to subvert the world government. Therefore, if you evacuate, the impact will be too great, the influence of the people is the most important. Log Town. At this time, Long didn't intend to hide anymore, after all, he wanted to participate in this battle, so he appeared directly. Whoosh. Smoker looked at Lupu in the distance at this time, to see if Lupu was running away or what. But suddenly, a figure appeared in front of Lupu, covered in a dark green coat, very mysterious. Who was he? I didn't notice him at all, he is a strong man. Smoker felt that the other party was very unusual. Father. Lupu was not surprised. Long said bluntly that the situation is urgent now. Lupu, leave with me and join the Revolutionary Army, or in other words, the Revolutionary Army will also become your force. Since you have the same idea as me, then you can lead the Revolutionary Army, and I can be the second in command. After all, you are me son. Lupu shook his head. No need. This made Long surprised and puzzled. Lupu said, when I become the king of the world, then I will be. Long Junjun. Don't rely on the Revolutionary Army. Yes, Lupu was firm. Long didn't understand at all, but now was not the time to understand. The dragon faces the sea, and its fighting spirit rises. Whether you join or not, there is one thing that must be done when you come here, and that is to join hands with you and leave. Lupu, you have counted that I will appear, right? This is your reliance. Be more cautious in the future. Now, let's fight together. The appearance of the dragon caused shock. The news boat kept catching fear. Who is that? Have no idea. The high-tech equipment heard, he said the military. And, very similar to Lupu, is his father. Could he be the leader of the Revolutionary Army, Monkey D. Dragon? Big news. In this case, the outcome of this battle is difficult to say. Immediately, the newspaper was quickly printed and spread. Broadcasts from all over the world continued to sound. After confirming, broadcast directly. Beside Lupu, a mysterious figure appeared. It is guessed to be the leader of the Revolutionary Army, Long. That is Lupu's father. In this way, it's hard to say whether Marine can win. However, this will also make people more nervous, because they are uncertain. The fighting situation will escalate. How does Marine decide? Keep paying attention. In addition, I saw two famous pirates appearing in the distance. They are the two captains of the Whitebeard pirates, Fire Fist Ace and Foil Vesta. Why did they appear? I heard that Fire Fist Ace was from East Blue. Could it be? No, Lupu. Lupu, Dragon, Fire Fist Ace, Foil Vesta, the combination of these four combat powers, against Buster Call and Double Admiral, it's hard to say. For a time, the world shook, attention became higher, and it was no longer calm. After all, the leader of the matter, a Lupu, lost. But it's different now, the dragon appeared, and it was still Lupu's father. If such a strong man united with Lupu, then it's not sure. Revolutionary Army, Dragon. That's hard to say. Will Marine continue to fight? Also Fire Fist Ace, Vista, why do people from the Whitebeard pirates show up? What kind of friendship do you have with Lupu? In this way, it will be exciting and exciting. For a time, the world paid more attention and looked forward to it because of the uncertainty. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku knew it immediately. His face was heavy, the last thing he wanted, still happened. Garp felt much relieved. It's great, Lupu, Ace, are much safer. Mariajoy. Five elders also knew immediately, their faces were ugly, and they felt that it was necessary to contact IM. Master IM, I'm looking for you, it's about Monkey D. Lupu. IM on the throne frowned slightly, because this kind of thing bothers me. After all, if you don't take Lupu seriously, the end is inevitable. However, the tone of five elders is a bit heavy. I am guessing that only uncertainty, Lupu's only hope. Has the dragon appeared? Yes, Impec. In their view, the dragon is bound to make a move. IM looked indifferent, even joyful. It's better this way. I stepped on it, so I kept a hand. Then this father and son, let's be wiped out together with Logue Town. This reassures the five elders, who worship them with respect. Master IM is wise. They guessed what IM left behind. It seems that it has been arranged long ago. Uranus. At this time, Logue Town. The dragon was ready to fight side by side with Lupu, but what Lupu said next shocked the dragon, and even shocked the world. Lupu said indifferently, Father, don't help me, leave or watch in the dark, after all it will end soon, watch my performance. 054 Conqueror's Hockey shocks the world. This is what Long didn't expect. It is understandable if you refuse to be with the Revolutionary Army and still follow the path of your own choice to win over the strong and cultivate a powerful force instead of inheriting your own. However, he actually refused to join forces, which made Long extremely shocked and unbelievable. After all, the sea ahead is a Buster Call lineup, plus 2 Marine Admirals. 10 top-level warships, each with 1,000 Marine elites, and 5 Marine Vice Admirals, all of which are elite Vice Admirals. Adding 2 Admirals, even if you fight alone, you will definitely lose. It is even difficult for him to join hands with Lupu to get out of the body. However, Lupu refused and did not join forces with him. Why? Lupu, you are very strong, but the lineup in front of you is not something you can fight against. Your grandfather taught you strength, didn't he tell you about the structure of this world, the strength of the strong? Lu Long could only think this way, and reminded Lupu, an admiral, if you want to win, you have to go all out to do it. It's very difficult, let alone 2 plus Buster Call, it will be much clearer if you say it this way. Right, too dangerous. Lupu shook his head. I know, father, just take a look, the big deal is to shoot when you think I'm invincible. So, take a look secretly. This made Long even more shocked, and he knew clearly that he still chose to do this. For a moment, the shock in Long's heart turned into anticipation. What kind of support did he have? Long asked curiously. Could it be devil fruit? You got a powerful ability. Even your grandfather doesn't know, this is what you rely on. Long felt that it was very possible. Lupu shook his head. I'm the same as Grandpa, a causal glander. This made Long startled and couldn't figure it out. Seeing that Lupu was so confident, even though he couldn't believe it, Long chose to agree first, and now he is watching secretly. If Lupu loses, it's not too late to make a move. At this time, in the distance, everyone on the news boat couldn't believe it. Did I hear you right? He actually said, don't let the dragon tail. The dragon wanted to join forces, but Lupu refused. In this case, isn't it courting death? Incredible. They were stunned for a moment, until the next moment, the figure of the dragon disappeared from Lupu. Not attacking, but disappearing, as if leaving. It turned out to be true. My god, is Lupu really looking for death? The dragon came, but refused to join forces to fight. Why? I can't figure out why at all. Quick print, this thing will shock the world beyond belief. Soon, the newspaper quickly printed, and the broadcast also quickly chose to believe in reality and began to broadcast. On the warship, the moment the dragon disappeared, Akainu, the dragon, and the other sailors were subconsciously alert, but found that there was no attack coming. And, the storm, also disappeared. The dragon disappeared in front of Lupu in an instant, not attacking them, but seeming to leave. The flying squirrel was puzzled. What's going on? It's not an attack. Leaving. Huo Shaoshan was startled. How is it possible? Isn't he here to help his son? Why did he leave suddenly? This puzzled them. Akainu and Kizaru also don't understand. Akainu frowned. What a trick. Kizaru sensed the surroundings. Observation Haki was strong, but he didn't feel the breath of the dragon, and he wanted to shoot. Soon, the broadcast sounded and resounded all over the world. Unbelievable. Shocked the world and made everyone unbelievable happen. When this broadcast sounded, people all over the world were curious. What happens? Say it straight, don't beat around the bush. What happened? The dragon showed its strength. Follow the sky. For a while, everyone in the world wanted to know and fell silent. The sound of the broadcast resounded, and it was unbelievable. Monkey D. Dragon disappeared. It seems, left. This shocked the world. Why did you leave? Traveling all the way, it must be to help his son, fight together, will suddenly leave. The announcement resounded. The reason, as we have heard, is that the dragon left because it was requested by Lupu. He actually rejected the dragon's offer to fight together, and refused to let the dragon fight, as if he wanted to fight alone. So, after refusing, the dragon left. What? This shook the world. Unbelievable. How can it be? Refused to fight together. Is he really a fool? Why exactly? That's a dragon. It has been designated as the world's most ferocious criminal. If we join forces, maybe it is really possible to escape. Yeah, there is also Fire Fist Ace and Foil Vista. These four join forces, the chances are very high. But if the dragon leaves, then Lupu will still be dead, even if Fire Fist Ace and Vista are added. Useless. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out at all. Everyone in the world can't figure it out. Not to mention them, the resourceful general like Sengoku can't figure it out. On Buster Call, everyone shook. The flying squirrels couldn't believe it. Dragon left because Lupu refused to join forces. Is there such a person? Isn't this courting death? What the hell is he thinking? Kizaru was puzzled. It's really strange, what is this monster thinking? Like Kaido, does it want to seek death? Akainu was also shocked, puzzled. It was already prepared for a difficult battle, but the dragon left unexpectedly. If so, that's fine. Advertisement. Although I don't know what tricks to use, but don't think about it, as long as it succeeds. Everyone, prepare to fight. At this point, Sengoku was puzzled. Why? After Garp found out, he couldn't sit still, and stood up from the sofa, cursing angrily. Lupu, B*********** D boy, what is he thinking? Why did he refuse to fight together? Does he think he can single out two admirals plus Buster Call? Don't be stupid, even I can't do it. Garp was very angry and couldn't figure out what Lupu was doing. Why didn't he join forces with such a good opportunity? Such words, in Sengoku's ears, are not good, but they ignored them. Sengoku was puzzled. The whole world can't figure this out. Why? There is support, but, even if there are support, there are no other strong people around. Could it be that I have reservations? Even so, it is impossible. I can't figure it out, and I don't think too much about it. After all, Lupu should be happy when he does this. For Marine, it's a good thing. Don't think about it anymore, because the battle is about to start, and you will know soon whether you are playing tricks or dying. Logue Town Waters, 5,000 meters behind Buster Call. Ace and Vista approached quickly. Ace saw the previous newspaper, and the dragon appeared. Ace is very happy. In this way, there is hope. The four of us join forces and can fight against the Marine lineup. Ace was very happy. He thought that his eldest brother was in danger this time, but it was really great. There was hope of survival. They fought together and made a big fuss. Ace is very excited and looking forward to being able to fight side by side with his big brother. But, seeing the new papers drop, Ace and Vista couldn't believe it. Why? Ace couldn't figure it out. His face was heavy. Vista was puzzled. Refused to fight together, this. Vista was also happy at first, thinking that Ace would be fine. After all, the dragon appeared, so he could fight against it. However, if he refused, then Lupu plus Ace and himself would not be able to resist the Marine lineup. Ace looked at Logue Town. Brother, what are you thinking? Vista said. Ace, maybe your elder brother is like Kaido. Just want to die, get caught, so, we still leave. Ace interrupted, in disbelief. Impossible, I didn't know the strength of Big Brother before, but I just didn't understand the strength. Big Brother wouldn't do that, we still have to reunite at sea. Zero looking for flowers. This made Vista couldn't figure it out, and knew that dissuasion was useless, so he continued to move forward. Vista sighed. Hey, then keep getting closer and have a look. Windmill Village. Luffy knew his father had appeared, and was delighted. Although I don't understand it, I think my father must be amazing. And very excited, Ace is also there, so he must be able to leave successfully. That's great. Luffy was delighted. But, soon, the announcement sounded. Luffy was stunned and puzzled. Brother, why did you refuse to join forces? The village chief exclaimed. Is Lupu really looking for death? Machino. Lupu. Luffy shook his head. My brother doesn't want to die, there must be other reasons. Can't figure it out, but Luffy thinks, he will know soon. Brother, what are you going to do? Luffy wanted to know very much, and listened quietly, hoping that the broadcast would sound again soon. Like Makino, Kaya, Nami, and Nuo Chigao were relieved a lot at first, but now they were stunned and worried. They didn't understand why, and they were very anxious, waiting in fear for the announcement. It must be good news. New world. After Ant and Kaido found out, they were puzzled and laughed. Is it? Do you want to learn from Kaido? But, I don't know if I can escape from prison alive like Kaido again and again. Kaido in Ghost Island also feels familiar. Doesn't he want to be caught by doing this? After being caught, can you escape alive? Aboard the Mobity. Marco was a little angry. What on earth does Ace's big brother want to do? He refused to join forces with Long. If we join forces, add Ace and Vista, we can compete, but I refused. Why are you so stupid? Ace, Vista is nearby, it will be involved in the battle, it will be very dangerous. Brother Ace is too nonsense, too irresponsible, and will put his younger brother Ace in danger. The captains were very anxious. I have no friendship with Lupu, but I am worried about Ace. Knowing Ace, I will help desperately, that is too dangerous. If there is a dragon, it's okay, but it was rejected by Lupu. Even Whitebeard couldn't sit still anymore and stood up, wishing he could teleport to Logue Town now, and he didn't want anything to happen to Ace. Whitebeard was very angry and complained about Lukuo. Big brother Ace, what an idiot, what are you doing? Ace doesn't want you to have an accident, this big brother is really incompetent, don't you know that Ace is here? If you reject the dragon, if the dragon leaves, Ace will be in danger. Unless, you can Ace leaves too. However, Whitebeard and the captains felt that Ace couldn't be driven away, so it would be troublesome. Red Hair Pirates, Shanks and others also couldn't figure it out. What Lupu did, made them wonder too many times. Shanks sighed. I can only continue to pay attention. They were not far from the island broadcast, waiting for a new broadcast. At this time, Akainu was naturally happy. It's really courting death, then, I will fulfill you. Akainu ordered. 3 warships in the rear, block the Fire Fist Ace and the Foil Vesta in the rear. The rest of the warships, aim at Lupu. Kill the dangerous evil, start. In the rear, 3 warships turned their heads, ready to attack Ace and Vista. Ace and Vista arrived, ready to fight. Ace's fist burst into flames. Don't stop me from saving Big Brother. Vista holds a knife in both hands, with blood-red rose petals lingering on the blade. However, just when they were about to do it, they were shocked. The next moment, the whole world was shocked. When Buster Call is about to explode, Lupu, do it. It's close, then, let's get started. Lupu's eyes are piercing, red light flashes in his pupils, his aura looks down on everything, endless hockey. Instead of moving, burst into Conqueror's hockey. Chapter 055 Conqueror's past, only 2 admirals left. Secretly, Long pays attention to the battle situation. Don't worry about Lupu being killed directly, that's impossible, so just see, as long as Lupu is invincible, it's not too late to take action. Lupu, I don't think you can escape one-on-one, and I can't even do it. So, let me see what you do. The world is cheering and thinking Lupu is finished. If you don't let the dragon help, then it's over. It's good that such a dangerous existence is dead, and it will be much more peaceful in the future. It's the civilians who are unlucky in the war. Impel down. Basement 6, Eternal Hell. Those locked up here are all remarkable people, and they are either death row inmates or life imprisoners. The criminals imprisoned are monster pirates who are too vicious and have been erased from history. The prisoners on this floor are all near legendary figures, and their end is either death penalty or life imprisonment. The incident was covered up by the government and even the newspapers deliberately concealed it. At this time, the news about Lupu also spread here, and it really shocked the world, even here knew about it. All the near legendary and even legendary level figures here are reading newspapers in their cells at the moment. Including the cadres of the Blackbeard pirates in the future, and Katrine Diame in the fox form of 9 Tails, a zone phantom beast. 383. Huge battleship, the San Juan Wolf. Drunkards, Basques don't hang. Evil King, Avalo Pizarro. Even Legends, World Destroyer, Burn D World. Devil's Heir, Douglas Bullet. Even the Red Earl was reading the newspaper. Such a young existence can make him pay attention, just because even he is shocked and puzzled by it. What the hell is this kid doing? So strong at such a young age, 3 billion, even the Red Earl is far inferior, including rocks. Constantly changing, from 10 deaths to no life, and then to the appearance of dragons, then there is hope, but it is rejected. I can't figure it out. It can only be done to death. It seems that we will have one more cellmate. Being strong alone, like Bullet, will have the same ending. We're waiting for him on the 6th basement floor. They all felt that there would be another inmate soon, and then they would talk about what this brat was thinking. Follow-up newspapers should be delivered quickly. Actually, the ending can be guessed, he was arrested. How will Marine? There won't be a big price, after all, the advantage in combat power is great. Logue Town. The warship prepares to burst into fire. This battle has begun. Lupu Conqueror's hockey erupted in an instant, extremely terrifying, covering the world in front of him in an instant, and the Emperor of Heaven turned dark red like hell in an instant. However, only covering Buster Call, without covering Ace and Vista, Lu Zong can naturally control it precisely. In an instant, Ace lowered his fiery fist, his eyes widened and his pupils shrank, looking at the scene in front of him in shock. Vista was even more dumbfounded, feeling dazzled, and after rubbing his eyes vigorously, he was extremely shocked. Ace, are you sure you want to save your big brother? Are you sure you have fully understood your big brother's strength? Is it really Admiral level? The picture created at this moment broke my cognition. Does your big brother really need your help? Vista was amazed again and again. Ace was also stunned, completely unaware that such a scene would happen before his eyes. Looking at the familiar figure at the port in the distance, Ace was shocked, admired, and his eyes lit up. Brother, is my worry completely unnecessary? Haven't I really understood your strength yet? Conqueror's Haki explodes in an instant, just for an instant. Caw caw caw, bang bang bang. The sound of cracking and falling to the ground continued. In an instant, everyone around stopped when they heard it. Originally planned to escape, but at this moment, no matter whether it was civilians, merchants, bounty hunters, or pirates, they all stopped. On the news ship, everyone also stopped their work. Instead of watching and recording, they all froze. Looking at the sea, Buster call, they all froze. Are you dreaming? A hallucination. How can it be? This is Conqueror's Haki. How could Conqueror's Haki be so outrageous? Incredible. What did they see? I saw that the 10 Buster call warships were cracked and cracked all over in an instant. The 10 top-level warships lost their combat capabilities in an instant. Although they have not been silent yet, it will be a matter of time. And the 1,000 elite marines on each warship all fell on the deck without moving. To be precise, they lost their vitality. 10,000 marine elites, all dead. The 7 orifices bleed, and they were shocked to death. Instead of fainting. Everyone was shocked. Those are marine elites, they were not stunned, but killed. Advertisement. If you look carefully, you won't find it unbelievable, because even the 5 elite vice admirals have fallen. What? In horror, everyone looked over. The 5 elites vice admiral, Flying Squirrel, Doberman, Ghost Spider, Huo Shaoshan, Stallo Berry. These 5 people instantly knelt down on their knees, put their hands on the ground, and sweated coldly, thinking that the terrifying coercion made it difficult for them to breathe. They trembled and felt very uncomfortable. Everything you see is spinning around. How is it possible? It's just Conqueror's Haki. Even if you know that Lupu, like the red hair, has substantial damage to Conqueror's Haki, it shouldn't be so scary. I'm waiting for Vice Admiral, an elite Vice Admiral. How could I be stunned by something like Conqueror's? Absolutely not. We are the backbone of Marine. Conqueror's has always been stunned. How can we be stunned? It's too shameful. No, absolutely not fainted. They were sweating profusely, struggling to hold on, and their minds were like lightning. They couldn't accept it one by one. It was too shameful. I was stunned by Conquerors before fighting. What are they? Where is their face? Marine's face. This battle is closely watched by the whole world. Buster Call Elite 5 Vice Admiral was stunned by Conquerors, passed out, too shameful. Must not faint. However, they wanted to stand up, but they couldn't do it at all. Their bodies shook more and more, and their dizziness became heavier and heavier. I can't. Hateful. This battle cannot be lost. I can't hold it anymore, I can only hand it over to the 2 admirals. The next moment, the sound of falling to the ground sounded, and the 5 elite vice admirals all lay down on the deck, fainting. In an instant, this place, and even the world, will be extremely shocked. Just because Lupu passed to Conquerors, Marine's strength, only 2 admirals left. That's why everyone here is so shocked, unbelievable. 0. Secretly, Long was stunned, knowing that Lupu Conquerors was powerful, but he didn't expect it to be so powerful that even the 5 elite vice admirals were stunned. With Marine's mighty combat power, only 2 admirals are left standing. The visual impact of this scene is too terrifying. Vista was horrified and asked, Ace, you always talk about your eldest brother with us, now it seems that you are too low-key. Ace looked at the scene in front of him in shock, horrified, and smiled wryly. Brother, why are you so good? On the leading warship, Marine is still standing, there are only 2 people left, Akainu and Kizaru. At this moment, the 2 of them were sweating coldly and looked around in disbelief. Kizaru was terrified. It's scary, is this Monkey D. Lupu's Conqueror's Haki? Even a redhead can't do it, right? His Conqueror's Haki has already surpassed the redhead, and is the strongest conquerors in the world. Akainu shook. How can there be such a horrible conquerors? B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** 2021. Akainu's fighting spirit rose, his arms surged with magma, and he was ready to fight with all his might. Then, I will leave it to you and me. We must win. Through the campaign, the whole world is paying attention, and we must win. Kizaru also understands that paddling in this battle is impossible, so he must take it most seriously. Everyone in Logue Town was horrified. Too horrible. As that human being, both admirals are in a cold sweat. Perhaps, there is no need to escape. Buster Call is gone, don't worry. At this moment, everyone on the news ship realized that they were extremely excited. Big event, bigger event. Absolutely shocked the world. Print quickly. Broadcast quickly. For a while, the newspaper was printed out quickly, and Ling kept taking pictures. The announcer also calmed down quickly, but his tone was still horrified and incoherent. The broadcast sound resounded throughout the world. Following. The follow-up is coming. 3.2 For a moment, the whole world was silent. Those who were worried about Lupu suddenly raised their hearts. What happened? Luffy. Brother. Makino. Lupu, don't worry. Kaya. It must not be bad news. Nami. Master Lupu, you must live, and I will let you eat abalone. Nuo Chigao. Master Lupu, I still want to feed you. Neither Nami nor I have repaid you yet. The follow-up was unbelievable. Definitely the most shocking one so far. Lupu, do it. No, no, to be precise, it's not a fight. It's conqueror's hockey. This makes the world wonder. Miscellaneous soldiers. It's useless, after all, it's Buster Call's soldiers, all elite. Isn't Lupu's conquerors similar to red hair? Maybe it can stun some and reduce the troops. The announcer screamed, loudest. Monkey D. Lupu conquerors hockey broke out. Buster Call 10,000 Marine elites, all were shocked to death. 10 top warships, all lost combat capability. Full of cracks. 5 elites, Vice Admiral, were all stunned and fell to the ground. The Marine side stood yes, there are only 2 admirals left. The next moment, the world is dead silent. Immediately, there was an uproar. .056 How long is the fight? No, it's over with one punch. In an instant, the whole world was shocked. Are you kidding? It sounds so fake. However, that's the case with broadcasts all over the world. Such a scene actually happened in Logue Town, not fake. Oh my god, is that outrageous? That's Buster Call. The Buster Call was established by the Marine headquarters authorized by the world government to carry out an indiscriminate and destructive attack on the area where the signal was sent. It is used to completely eliminate things and people in an area that threatens the world government's rule. It is a brutal attack. Buster Call is not invincible, and will be repelled by some strong people, but I have never heard of it. Buster Call is instantly destroyed by a conqueror's hockey. Incredible. This is definitely a big event that shocked the world. Monkey D. Lupu, is it so scary? Even redheads can't do it. Lupu's conqueror's hockey surpasses redheads, the strongest in the world. There's only one admiral left, so, can Lupu really escape? Is that why he won't let the dragon help? People all over the world were stunned. Those near Logue Town were the first to see the newspaper, and looked at the picture in the newspaper, horrified. It turned out to be true. It's outrageous, it's horrible. Buster Call in front of him, so vulnerable, a conqueror's gone. 2 strong, 1 conquerors, only 2 admirals left. Is this the terror of the East Blue Overlord, Lupu? Naval Headquarters. Sengoku's face changed greatly. How could conqueror's hockey can be so strong? This was something he never expected. Although he knew that Lupu Conquerors was very strong and could deal substantial damage, he still couldn't defeat Buster Call in an instant. Sengoku looked to Garp 10, asking, Garp, do you have something to say? Garp was shocked and happy inside. Sengoku sighed softly. It seems that you still kept a low profile when describing him. Also, after all, you are his grandfather. Garp smiled wryly in his heart. He did not keep a low profile, which he did not expect at all. Garp was happy in his heart. Ha ha ha, Lupu, you really surprise me time and time again. Conqueror's hockey can be so strong. Then after mastering the Conqueror's hockey, how strong you will be, and you will definitely surpass me. You are so confident. Don't let the dragon shot. Is it because you have mastered Conqueror's winding? In this case, there may be hope. If you allow yourself to single out 2 admirals, Akainu and Kizaru, Garp dare not say that you can beat them single-handedly, but it is still possible to get away without being killed by them. After all, if he fights alone, he has the confidence to defeat and even kill Akainu. His strength is stronger than Admiral, even though he is old now. Garp felt a little relaxed. If Lupu had to go all out, he might escape after going through a tough battle. Lupu, go all out. The battle should be about getting out. Don't fight for days and nights. Then maybe Marine will support, and it's possible to send another admiral. Although naval headquarters still needs to be guarded, with him and Sengoku guarding it, almost no one would dare to invade. And, in this critical period, Kong will definitely guard with them. Therefore, Garp felt that if he wanted to get out, he had to go all out to fight and focus on getting out. Although it was difficult, it was no longer dead, but there was great hope. Garp continued to pay attention, knowing that the next big battle was about to start. It would be very intense, and it would last for a while. Sengoku frowned. Luckily he didn't let the dragon make a move, otherwise Akainu and Kizaru would have to escape in this battle. After all, the national factory order is gone. Sengoku guessed. Could it be, this is his reliance, confident that he can fight against 2 admirals, and will not be caught? Sengoku thought it over and decided. 2 admirals, it is true that Lupu is no longer certain to die. There will be a turning point. As long as there is a turning point, changes must be made. Because this battle must be won, and the whole world is paying attention. Sengoku's heart skipped a beat, feeling uneasy. Could it be that Lupu is not looking for death, but wishing this way? Is this what he is willing to do? In order to increase his reputation through this battle, tell the world that it is possible for him to do it. Thinking of this, Sengoku became more determined. It is impossible for him to succeed. If he is successful and some declarations are added, it will spread throughout the world and he must be taken down. Sengoku immediately decided, no longer thinking about it, this operation must win. Even if it is a 90% chance, it will not work, even if there is even a slight chance of failure. Sengoku informs Aokiji immediately. At this time, Aokiji is naturally paying attention and moving. Seeing Sengoku calling, Aokiji could guess and sigh. Allah, it seems that I can't go on comfortably. Aokiji answered the phone bug and asked, Marshal, what's the matter? Sengoku said in a condensed voice. Kuzan, you go to Logue Town immediately and join the battle. 3 admirals can deal with 1 Lupu, and they can definitely take him down. Set off now and take the fastest warship. Aokiji guessed it, but frowned slightly. Marshal, can we catch up? Even on the fastest warship, it will take 7 days at the fastest from Marineford to Logue Town, right? We must catch up. As long as there is hope, we must not let it go, because this battle must be won. You should also be aware of the impact of our failure. Sakazuki, Pelusalino, will go all out to fight. This kind of strong you should be aware of the battle. It is normal to fight for days and nights, so if you have hope to catch up, prepare for action immediately. Understood. I'm ready to go. Sengoku breathed a sigh of relief, so he felt relieved. Garp said in his heart. Lupu, get out as soon as possible, single out 3 admirals, even I will lose, and so will you. Sengoku sighed softly. I really didn't expect that if you catch one Lupu, you will get a buster call, plus 3 admirals. People who don't know think that it is used to deal with the royal team. New World. The aunt, son and daughter listened to the broadcast and were shocked. How can it be? Is this Conqueror's hockey so scary? That's buster call. Advertisement. Are troops useless in front of Lupu? Come to us, that is to say, a Conquerors, the only ones who can fight are the mother and the 4 generals. As much as I hate to admit it, maybe yes, after all, the elite 5 vice admirals passed out. What a horror. Conqueror's hockey is beyond redheads. I'm only 19 years old, my future is limitless. So in this battle, can Lupu really get away? It's not easy, you have to single out 2 admirals. It's possible after all. Keep paying attention, the fierce and long-term battle is about to start, starting in 3 days and 3 nights. The ant was shocked and felt more and more pity. Is it? It's a pity. It would be nice not to have that dangerous idea. It's a monster that he must be married to my daughter. The conversation changed, and the ant said, however, if you don't let Long help, then there is still a high possibility of being arrested, which is a pity. Ghost Island. Kaido was shocked. It seems that there is one more strong person in the sea that I face up to. Not only Whitebeard, Big Mom, but also a Lupu in the red-haired pirate. However, it is still possible to get caught. Red hair pirates. Redhead and the cadres were shocked. Incredible. Conqueror's hockey, beyond heaven. Even if the boss can do it, he won't let Buster Call lose his combat power in such an instant. Lupu really has something to rely on for doing this. There is hope for escape. Beckman shook his head. Marine will not allow this failure. It is very likely to send another admiral to let Akainu and Kizaru join forces to delay. Waiting for Aokiji and 3 admirals to join forces, Lupu will lose. Lupu will face 2 admirals, it is very difficult fleeing, facing 3 admirals, you will definitely lose. This makes the cadres feel sure. Looks like Lupu is still going to be arrested. It's a pity, what a monster. Grow up, it's going to be another rocks. Or overtake the rocks. Shanks sighed softly. Keep paying attention, the fierce and long-term battle is about to begin. Aboard the Mobity, Whitebeard and the captains were still very angry at first, thinking that Lupu was too mischievous, which would not only make himself dangerous, but also make Ace dangerous. But, now, they were all shocked. It's so outrageous. Buster Call, it's abolished immediately. Military strength is useless against him. In this way, there is hope. Lupu, Ace, Vista, against the 2 admirals, has a good chance of escaping. Ace is still keeping a low profile. He thought he was exaggerating his big brother before, but now it seems that he has reservations. Lupu rejected the dragon, and may also reject Ace and Vista. That's good. The 2 admirals have to deal with Lupu. If Ace and Vista want to leave, there will be no combat power to stop them. The Buster Call is gone. Lupu is still very dangerous. Marine will send new troops over. The elite vice admiral has been stunned, so it must be Admiral, and Aokiji may come. In that case, you will surely die. You have to leave before you arrive. There is hope for a long time. Yeah, Lupu go all out, that way he might get out before Aokiji arrives. Whitebeard exclaimed. I really underestimated Ace's big brother. A fierce battle is about to begin. We will continue to pay attention to this battle for at least 2 or 3 days. I hope he can escape. At this moment, Luffy felt relieved and his eyes lit up. Brother, I deserve it because of my strength. Makino breathed a sigh of relief and was also a little happier. Nami and Nuo Chigao felt relieved. As expected of Master Lupu. It's so powerful. Master Lupu, come on. Logue Town on the sea. Ace and Vista calm down. Ace yells at the port. Big brother. I'm coming. Ace. Lupu waved and smiled, happy in his heart. After all, we haven't seen each other for 2 years. Ace, wait for me, we'll have a drink after the battle. Brother, I will fight with you. Ace was about to rush over. Lupu refused. Ace, don't help me, just watch over there, trust big brother. Vista was not surprised. Sure enough, just like rejecting the dragon, I also rejected Ace's help and wanted to fight alone. Although Ace really wanted to fight side by side, but the elder brother's tone was firm, so naturally he had to listen to the elder brother's words. Brother, I see. Although I don't understand it, let's see it first. As long as the eldest brother loses, I will make a move myself. Vista said. Watch the battle, this battle will be intense and long. Ace felt the same way. The world thinks so. However, how long? The only one who doesn't think so is Lupu. 0.057 Akainu Kizaru. Everyone felt that this battle was going to be fierce and protracted, and that both sides had to go all out. One thing is right, Akainu and Kizaru really want to give it their all. Many countries hope that Lupu can survive, because their country has a very bad life, disasters, hunger, crimes, etc. are spreading. At this time, Mariajoy. The 5 elders trembled. It's so outrageous. Sengoku has sent Aokiji to prepare for action. This battle must be won. Lupu is so strong that it must be resolved. Hope is still great. One-on-one with Akainu and Kizaru, it is impossible to escape in a short time, and once Aokiji arrives, he will definitely die. I remembered an incident that happened in Goa Kingdom 9 years ago. Celestial dragons were seriously injured by the Conqueror's Haki earthquake. This incident did not spread, but it was a big event for us. It was indeed a big deal. After all, it was the celestial dragons who were seriously injured. There are very few people who dare to do anything to celestial dragons, so it is naturally a big event. However, only Goa Kingdom and Marine, world government executives know about it. Because you can't find it at all, let it go. The redheads later became the 4 emperors, grew up and found the Conqueror's Haki with substance. But it was also found that the red hair pirates were in New World at that time. And, 9 years ago, the red-headed conquerors weren't nearly as strong. So, it became a mystery. But now, they were shocked. Knowing that Lupu possesses the actual conquerors, they thought about it, but thought it couldn't be Lupu. Because, Lupu was only 10 years old at that time, how could it be possible? Therefore, even though Lupu belongs to the Windmill Village and the Kingdom of Goa, he didn't think too much about it. But now, they are shaking. At the age of 19, Conqueror's Haki is so strong, then, at the age of 10, it may be really possible. Is it really him? It's so strong now, so when it was 10 years old, maybe it really had such a strong conquerors, and he was also in the Kingdom of Goa at that time. It is certain that it is him, combined with the present, as bold as ever. We must deal with him, he is such a monster at the age of 10. Unfortunately, it would be great if it was Marine. After being surprised, they felt it was a pity. It's a pity, if you go the wrong way, then you will die. Between flowers. At this moment, was moved by it. Conqueror's Haki, it's really powerful, beyond my expectation. However, is still calm and confident. In his opinion, Lupu cannot escape and must die. Not only because he couldn't escape Admiral's siege, but also because of his own hand. Looking at Lupu's face in the newspaper, Im's blood-red eyes, which were somewhat similar to Hawkeye, lifted up and looked at Lupu's photo slightly. The corner of Im's mouth curled up. It moved me, Monkey D. Lupu, it's interesting. However, the outcome of this battle will not change. It was as if, like the real master, he had already judged Lu. At this point, the world fell silent, waiting for a new broadcast. Logue Town. It was also very quiet here. People in Logue Town and the people on the offshore news ship all held their breath and stared at Lupu intently. Because I know that the real battle is about to begin. Conquerors cleared Buster Call, so the battle between Lupu and the 2 admirals is about to begin. On the warship, Akainu glanced at the flying squirrel and other elite vice admiral who were lying on the deck behind. What a disgrace! Kizaru sighed softly. We can't wake up at all, so we can only deal with that monster. Akainu's voice is deep and steady. In this battle, justice will win. We must take him down. Gudong gudong. The magma erupted in both arms, and black smoke filled the air. Kizaru raised his right hand, his fingertips shone with golden light, aiming at Lupu, ready to launch the laser. For a while, the reporters on the news boat kept grabbing the boat. People in Logue Town watched intently from a distance. Ace, Vista, and the dragon in the dark are also all staring at each other. The fierce battle is about to begin. Whoosh. However, in the next instant, Akainu and Kizaru's expressions suddenly changed, their pupils constricted, and their hearts trembled. Because, out of their sight, Lupu suddenly disappeared. And their observation Haki, like a failure, can't sense it. This shocked their hearts, it was killing by knowledge. All eyes are still on where Lupu is standing, including Ace, Vista, and even the dragon. At this time, Lupu had already emerged above the sea, above the heads of Akainu and Kizaru, clenched his fist with his right hand, and smashed down. And the dense dark red lightning-like substance exploded from the fist. Crackling. Advertisement. The dark red lightning is as solid as it is, blooming with Lupu's fist as the center, all over the sky. In an instant, Akainu and Kizaru's hearts sank, they felt extremely dangerous, and their hearts were uneasy. Their hearts trembled, instantly making them uneasy. Danger is about to come, they are admirals, they can actually make them feel this way. However, it was too late to be shocked. Akainu and Kizaru suddenly looked up, on top. At this time, the powerhouses also reacted. Ace, Vista, and Long looked at the sky above Akainu's head, and there was Lupu's figure impressively. And, the attack is ready to go. In an instant, I was shocked by it. Looking at Lupu's fist bursting out with a dark red lightning-like substance, Long was shocked and delighted. It is Conqueror's Winding. Lupu mastered. And, such a powerful Conqueror's Haki. So, there is hope. The dragon was excited about it, and felt in his heart that it was not mastered not long ago, but the previous battle, which made Lupu feel that there was no need to use Conqueror's Winding. Perhaps, it has already been mastered. Akainu, the face of the yellow ape changed in shock. In intelligence, Lupu has not yet mastered Conqueror's Entanglement. But, they all know that if they master it, it means that Lupu has surpassed Garp. After all, without tyranny, you are on par with Garp, and now you have mastered it, you are already a liar Garp. For a split second, Akainu and Kizaru's hearts sank. They want to fight with all their strength, but because Lupu is so fast, the attack is bound to be strong. Killing by knowledge, combined with a speed so fast that even Kizaru and Akainu could hardly react in an instant, coupled with a terrifying attack, these combinations, even if the two of them stand together, Admiral has an unprecedented pressure. Ace's eyes are shining, looking up at the big brother in the sky, excited. Brother, if you will be entangled with conquerors, then it will be more convincing than in the pre-environment. Beasta exclaimed. The strength is stronger than we imagined. Ace, you deserve to be your big brother. It's too powerful. Ace is also a burst of pride, after all, he is my eldest brother. Fist bone. Galaxy impact. Again, galactic shock, but, this time, with conqueror's wraps. Moreover, it was far from using all its strength in the past. After all, Garp's strength is 7 times stronger, and it is enough to crush it casually in East Blue and show a little strength. But this time, it was a slightly serious punch. Kizaru gave up elementalization to leave the attack range, because Lupu was too fast and the attack range was too large to be in time. Kizaru cursed in a low voice. Troublesome experience kill, this blow is too fast, there is no time to dodge. Although heavy, but not panic. Akainu said. Fortunately, I have accumulated strength before, counterattacked quickly, and defended with all my strength. If you and I join forces, we will not suffer. The whole world is watching, they can't embarrass Marine. In the first round of this battle, even if they can't be majestic, they can't be inferior. In the view of Kizaru and Akainu, they will definitely not suffer, even if the Conqueror's entanglement and strong attack are stronger than the current Garp entanglement plus galaxy impact. However, the two of them teamed up, counterattacked, and defended with all their strength. I believe that nothing will happen, they will not be injured, and they will not be knocked down. The terrifying force blasted down a huge area, and before it even fell, the sea was sunken due to the pressure, causing the sea in the distance to set off huge waves in an instant. The magma burst out from Akainu's fists, and the shining golden light of the yellow ape's fingers burst out with lasers. After attacking, armament hockey covers, with arms crossed in front of his body, choosing to defend. Boom. The terrifying power fell. Akainu and Kizaru stared up, thinking that it could counteract this punch with a lot of power, however. Click. There is no stalemate, not even a freeze frame, but an instant collapse. Facing this punch, the hasty attack instantly disintegrated. They were shocked in their hearts, stronger than they imagined, but they still didn't panic. They are admirals, they have no time to dodge, but they choose to defend, they will not be injured, and at most they will suffer physical pain. Lupu has mastered the tyranny, then, it is not the admiral level. However, even if Li Wangjiao is stronger than him in a one-on-one fight, it is impossible to gain a clear advantage in one blow and cause too much damage to them. This kind of battle between the strong will last fiercely for several days. However, in the next instant, the thoughts in Akainu and Kizaru's minds stopped abruptly. The power of terror fell on them in an instant. The warship under his feet collapsed instantly. Kizaru and Akainu felt the pain in their bodies, and the pain was like ordinary people being hit by a sledgehammer. It was so painful that even they couldn't help but let out a scream. Ah! With two screams, Akainu and Kizaru sank directly to the bottom of the sea. The dragon could see that Akainu and Kizaru's faces were contorted in pain, and even spit blood from their mouths. This punch unexpectedly hit two admirals hard. Akainu and Kizaru sank to the bottom of the sea in an instant. At this time, they were not shocked, but felt the pain in their whole body. Akainu and Kizaru were shocked. The result was far different than expected. They are admirals. Even Whitebeard, or even king-level strength, cannot be so terrifying with one punch. They were very dazed, feeling like they were dreaming, and it felt very unreal. They sank into the bottom of the sea, their faces were dull, and they were directly dazed. Everyone will be shocked when they see it, including the strong man from the sea. Because, Akainu and Kizaru, were stunned by Lupu's punch, .058A punch makes I am restless. Undersea, Akainu and Kizaru, were stunned by Lupu's direct punch. And this scene will definitely shock the world even more. Long couldn't believe it. What a terrifying punch, that's two admirals. After Long was shocked, he was pleasantly surprised and relieved. He didn't expect Lupu to be so strong. All that was known before, wasn't at Lupu's full strength. From the screams of Akainu and Kizaru, it can be heard that they were not only wounded, but severely injured. The two admirals counterattacked and defended together, but they were still severely injured. Lupu's punch has many impacts. Long confirmed. It is certain that Lupu's strength has surpassed Garp. It is even stronger than Garp's peak period. This is extremely certain, but this round, the dragon will understand. Garp is now singled out against Admiral and can win, but Garp is old and not at his peak. But now, Lupu is stronger than Garp at his peak, so it is understandable that such a scene happened, and why Lupu does not let himself help, because it is unnecessary. Long smiled bitterly. As your father, I still don't understand your strength, and I'm afraid your grandfather doesn't understand either. Long is even more proud. His son is really a monster. He is so strong at the age of 19. He has already surpassed Admiral. He is not even an emperor, but a king. Even Roger, the One Piece, couldn't hit two admirals with one punch like this. Even Rocks couldn't do it. Lupu has become the strongest among those who have appeared so far. Rocks and the Red Earl can't compare. Long is not exaggerating at all, none of the strong men who have appeared is as strong as Lupu. Long felt that facing this punch, he would have the same result. Beasta was stunned. Ace, you still haven't clearly explained the horror of your elder brother in the past. It's unbelievable. Dad can't do it, right? The two admirals are definitely not unscathed, and they are definitely not minor injuries. To be able to scream at this level is definitely a serious injury. It is unbelievable. It is too terrifying to hit two admirals with one punch. Even the former Roger and Rox could not do it at all. Lupu's single body combat power is completely it's beyond my knowledge. Individual combat power is very strong, as we all know, Whitebeard, Roger, Rox, Red Earl, etc., some are close to the king level, and some are king level. But for Lupu, it is a bit low to use the king level to represent it, and it can create a separate level, which is above the king level. Because, even if it is a king, it is impossible to hit two admirals with one punch. Ace, we underestimated it. I used to think that you were exaggerating. It seems that you are a lot conservative. Ace stared dumbfounded, then smiled wryly. I'm not conservative because I don't know much about Big Brother. I thought I gradually understood, but I didn't expect that it still didn't. I didn't understand it when I was young, but I still don't understand Big Brother now. After being horrified, Ace felt more relieved and proud at the same time. He also felt that the nervous behavior before was a bit ridiculous. After all, the Big Brother is the Big Brother. Brother, I didn't expect you to be so strong. It's unbelievable. If this is the case, I will feel more at ease. Maybe I can really win. At this time, the surrounding talents reacted. After all, in the eyes of ordinary people, it only happened in a short moment. When they reacted, Akainu and Kizaru had been bombarded and sank to the bottom of the sea. This kind of battle between the strong all happened in an instant and ended in a second. It took them a long time to react. What did I see? With one punch, the two admirals were severely injured and blasted into the bottom of the sea. Horrible. Those are two admirals. Even Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world, can't do it. My god, Lupu is so scary. You're only 19 years old, why is it so scary? Garp Marine is a hero, a strong man in the world, and Lupu is Garp's grandson, and his fighting style is completely inherited from Garp. However, Lupu's combat power is not comparable to Garp, but surpassed. It's scary to be as strong as Garp at the age of 19, let alone surpass it, it's too monster. This battle, Marine will lose. Print quickly. Something that shocked the world even more. Quick broadcast. In an instant, the whole world shook. Broadcast follow-up. The battle has begun. Monkey D. Lupu has started. It's no longer Conqueror's hockey, the real battle has begun. People from all over the world approached the radio station, quietly preparing to listen, feeling that it would be a very long battle description. However, it turned out that the reporter first gave a brief description of shock. The fight is just one round. Monkey D. Lupu is just one punch. Akainu and Kizaru were hit hard, and the two admirals sink to the bottom of the sea. In an instant, the world was shocked. An even bigger shock. From east to west, from north to south, from the front to the rear of the Grand Line, everyone was stunned. Announcer, what are you kidding? Advertisement. Stop being funny. That's Admiral, isn't it Vice Admiral or something, who was hit hard and sank into the sea? How dare you believe it? It was impossible for Roger and Rox to do it. I don't believe that Roger can hit two Admiral teams with one knife, and I don't believe that Rox can do it. It's only 19 years old, even if it's a monster, it's 50-50 with an Admiral at most. Fake. Absolutely fake. However, different announcers all gave the same description, which made the unbelievable people even more sluggish. The detailed description resounds through. The fight was so fast, Admiral Kizaru and Akainu were battered and sunk in just a second, but it was slowed down by filming. Lupu, it's too fast. It appeared above Akainu and Kizaru in an instant, so fast that the two admirals didn't seem to react in an instant, and they didn't predict it. Observation hockey seemed to be invalid. Is this Lupu's observation kill? Hockey is powerful and can make observation the knowledge of color failure kills. However, BACB is actually Admiral, and he was already concentrating on the attack and was ready to attack. He attacked in an instant. Akainu blasted out his lava fist, and Kizaru's fingertips burst out with lasers. Although it was hasty, it was Admiral's attack after all. As for Lupu, it's a punch, a fist bone, a galaxy impact, and the coverage is huge. This is why Admiral didn't dodge, because he couldn't dodge. Under this punch, the attacks of Akainu and Kizaru were defeated in an instant. However, Akainu and Kizaru can do it with full defense. But the result is, the two admirals screamed, vomited blood, covered their faces in pain, were directly injured, and sank into the depths of the sea. The broadcast is over. Unbelievable. It's not fake. Other news agency announcers will describe it like this. Because this scene really happened before our eyes. The newspaper will be seen first by the island near Logue Town. In an instant, the world set off a stormy sea. It is true. Oh my god. It's too scary. What kind of existence is Admiral? Marine has the highest combat power, but he was hit hard by a punch. Even if Admiral is not the strongest in this world, I never thought that someone can punch a punch. In this case, I fully understand what Lupu is doing. It's not about seeking death, but about his confidence in his own strength. It's too strong. It's even more dangerous for Marine and the world government. If Marine loses this battle, then Lupu's popularity will be higher, and everyone will know it. It's a greater threat to Marine and the world government. The bounty will also be greatly increased again. The first time I offered a reward of 3 billion, the second time I offered a reward, I'm afraid it will break the record. Horror. It's too scary. First, Hockey defeated Buster Call, and then hit Admiral hard with one punch. This is stronger than Admiral and 4 Emperors. Is it a god? It's not Lupu who escaped death, but two admirals who escaped death. Admirals. It's not over yet. Don't draw conclusions prematurely. Let's see. After all, it's Admiral. It won't just fall down like this. It won't just give up like this. At this time, the four emperors were all stunned. As four emperors, they know Admiral's strength and are very close to them. However, it was hit hard. In other words, is it possible for Lupu to hit four emperors with one punch? Thinking of this, Kaido, Ant, Redhead, and Whitebeard were even more shocked. However, if they knew that with Lupu's full strength, it would not be a problem to hit all four of them with a punch. The Ant was moved. He has very dangerous ideas, but he has even more terrifying strength. His actions come from his confidence in strength. It would be great to be in an alliance with him. If she is the king of the world, her ant pirates will help her, and if she is herself, she will become the king of pirates. The sons and daughters couldn't believe it. It was too scary, and they couldn't accept it. After all, they were younger than them. Even Garp's grandson, son of the dragon, shouldn't be such a monster, right? Mom, Lupu even rejected his father long. It seems that he will not change. He will grow stronger on his own. The ant also realized that it was impossible. Kaido was shocked at this moment. He was thinking about one thing, and he also felt that many people would be thinking about it. With the appearance of Lupu, is it the strongest one-on-one, or not yourself? Kaido frowned, and said in a deep voice, it must be me. I am the strongest creature in the sea, land and air. No one can defeat me in single combat, not even Whitebeard. Even if it is very strong, its attack power is higher than mine, but its defense, vitality is not necessarily the case. The strongest duel does not mean that I have the strongest attack power, but comprehensive. My title of the strongest duel cannot be replaced by Lupu. The red hair pirates were dumbfounded. That's why the refusal to join us. Too strong. Strong enough to break cognition. Shanks exclaimed. Luffy's brother, so strong. Mariajoy. At this time, I am also lost his indifferent expression, but had the same expression as a commoner, full of shock and disbelief. With one punch, Akainu and Kizaru were severely injured. Even I am was stunned. I am stood up directly from the throne, fidgeting, the corners of his mouth couldn't be hooked, and he didn't think it was just interesting. His heart is extremely heavy. Lupu is not meaning, but very troublesome. Chapter 059 Facing Lupu, Kizaru wants to raise his hands and surrender. After Lupu's punch, I am didn't dare to despise Lupu anymore, and he understood. It seems that it's not a fool, it's not courting death, it's just to use Marine to make yourself famous and facilitate your own actions in the future. Im's face was gloomy, and he sneered. The wishful thinking is good. If I didn't keep that move, you might succeed, but you have to die. The more you know your strength, the more you must succeed this time. If the two admirals kill if I don't kill you, then wait to be killed by me, the king of the world. Naval headquarters. Sengoku knew it right away, unbelievable. Those are two admirals. Even he doubted the authenticity of the information, but he had to admit that it was true. Even if you master the Conqueror's entanglement, it is at most a little stronger than Garp, not too much stronger, at most comparable to rocks. It is already unimaginable to be comparable to rocks at the age of 19. However, the two admirals were hit hard with one punch, which showed that the combat power of a single player surpassed any previous strongman, whether it was rocks or Red Earl Jew. Quote. Sengoku's face was heavy and his brows were furrowed. He really didn't expect the situation to be like this. Originally in his heart, the situation of 10 deaths and no life has changed, or even reversed. How can it be so strong? In exchange for myself, I can't do it at all. Not even with Garp. It can take time to defeat two admirals, but it is absolutely impossible to do heavy damage in one round. While being shocked, Sengoku felt more and more regretful, knowing that it was time to give Garp a holiday and persuade Lupu to become a marine. Garp feels in his heart at this time. Lupu, you are so strong. Garp was shocked and unbelievable. After all, he taught it by himself, but unexpectedly, he has completely surpassed himself, even stronger than his peak period. I also know that this punch was not accidental, nor was Akainu and Kizaru careless. Garp is more at ease. In this case, Akainu and Kizaru will become a close match. Singled out two admirals can be crushed, close to death, never before. I don't know about the mysterious I am, but so far there have been strong players who have shot. Lupu is definitely the strongest single combat power, above the king level. Sengoku frowned. Perhaps, it was your grandson Lupu who injured the celestial dragons in the kingdom of Goa 9 years ago. Sengoku had a headache for a while, and the Monkey D clan really made people feel more and more headaches. Garp thinks it is also possible. After all, Conquerors is so strong now. Garp sighed secretly. No wonder it was always hidden in front of me before, so it turns out that it has hidden so much strength. Sengoku's face was low and cold. This kind of combat power must be resolved. Garp felt relieved. But, Aokiji can't be there. From the first round, you can know that the battle will not last long. Sengoku also knew that he couldn't catch up, but he didn't panic, he was confident. Seeing Sengoku's expression, Garp's heart sank. Is there something he doesn't know? Marine sent Buster Call and two admirals. Could it be that the world government sent combat power? 5 elders. Sengoku said. It is inevitable that they will attack. The stronger they are, the more they will die. If Sakazuki and Pelusalino are really defeated, then they will attack and kill Lupu. Garp's heart sank, and he became worried again. Could it be I am? Thinking of this, Garp was very worried. Did he use Uranus, the destructive power that is so terrifying that it can destroy a country with one blow? Garp clenched his fists and cursed inwardly. Damn. Lupu, be careful. At this time, the Mobity boarded. Everyone in the Whitebeard pirates also heard the broadcast. Unbelievable. The faces of Marco and the others were all dumbfounded, even Whitebeard. They couldn't get angry at all. I thought it would make Ace dangerous because of Lupu, but now, not at all. Ace's big brother, so scary. It's hard to hit two admirals with one punch. It must be extraordinary to be Ace's big brother, but I didn't expect the monster to reach this level. Our worries are unnecessary. No wonder we rejected the dragon and Ace's help. It turns out that we have such a strong strength. Daddy can single out two admirals to escape, but it won't be so easy. Whitebeard smiled awkwardly. Hoo la la la, it seems that we are short-sighted. Ace's big brother is really amazing. Now I think of the idea of adopting him as my son. I'm really embarrassed. After all, it's because of the smell. Dad, you are the strongest man in the world, even so, there is nothing to be ashamed of. Quote. Father, you deserve it too. Although Brother Ace is very strong, I believe you are the strongest man in the world. The power of shock fruit is not comparable to Lupu's fist. Shock fruit has the power to destroy the world, but Lupu's fist cannot do it. No one can destroy the world with human power alone. Father, you are fully qualified. Whitebeard smiled, being so adored by his sons. Hoo la la la, continue to pay attention. At this time, Windmill Village. Luffy's eyes brightened. Advertisement. It's amazing, my brother's strength is hidden so much. Although I don't know how strong Admiral is, but it should be similar to Grandpa. Has my brother's current strength surpassed that of Grandpa? This was something Luffy never expected, and she was very happy. A brother is a brother, it's really amazing. Makino was happy. Is it so strong? That's great. Kokoja Village. Nami and Nuo Chigao are happier and more at ease. Lord Lupu, that's too powerful. Lord Lupu is really a godlike existence. Great, don't worry about not having a chance to report stupid Master Lupu. At this time, Logue Town is on the sea. Ace and Vista were dumbfounded, seeing this scene with their own eyes. Vista was shocked. Ace, your big brother is an indescribable monster. In one round, you can severely injure two admirals with one punch. Dad can't do it. Ace was horrified. At first, I thought that even if I didn't know the strength of the elder brother, he must not be as strong as the old man, but now it seems that the strength of the elder brother may be higher than that of the elders. Ace looked at the figure of Lupu in the sky, adoring him extremely. Brother, you are too strong. Secretly, the dragon was excited and proud. Unexpectedly, surpassed me, even surpassed your grandfather. He is only 19 years old. He is really better than Blue. At this time, the seabed. Akainu and Kizaru were lying in the deep pit on the seabed. The deep pit was 100 meters deep, which showed the power of this punch. Akainu and Kizaru still felt the pain all over their bodies, with bloodline hanging from the corner of their mouths, and their expressions were horrified. Gradually, I no longer feel dumbfounded. Zero looking for flowers. Akainu couldn't believe it. How is it possible? Even if we rushed to counterattack, but you and I counterattacked and defended with all our strength, how could we be severely injured? Kizaru looked up at the sky, and could vaguely see the reflection of Lupu on the sea surface. His eyes showed apprehension. It's terrible. It's a lot more monster than we imagined. Is that why you choose to face it alone? You have the confidence to get out of it. Akainu's face was ugly. He couldn't accept it. He was too shocked. As a strong man, his vitality is also very strong. It is no problem to fight for days and nights. But the pain in his whole body made him grin his teeth, which was unacceptable. Damn it, it's just the power of one punch. How could it hurt so much? The gap shouldn't be so big. Sakazuki, what should we do? Kizaru flinched a bit, and wanted to raise his hands in surrender. After all, it was his usual style. Lupu is so strong, he doesn't want to work hard. Even if he works hard, he may not be able to complete the task. What should we do? Of course we will continue to fight. Next, go all out and go straight to the strongest state of you and me. I was careless just now. It is really troublesome to kill Lupu. Then, concentrate on fighting Lupu back to back. You can't use your knowledge. Just use your eyes, combat experience, and perception of air fluctuations to judge. Kizaru had to pull himself together. Akainu couldn't accept it, and had to continue fighting. This round had already made them lose face, and the whole world must know it. So, you must call back. Although he is a capable person, he is Admiral after all, so he will not just die in the sea like this. It can be seen that there is no seawater around Akainu and Kizaru, apparently evaporated by magma. On the surface of the sea, bubbling and bubbling, filled with heat, and even turned red. Everyone in Logue Town has found out. Look, it's on the sea. Under the sea, there is magma. It's because of Akainu. The battle will continue. After all, it is Admiral, or two, how could it be so easy to lose? Yeah, looking forward to the next fight, the two admirals must be very angry. Clatter. A burst of magma blasted out, directly evaporating the seawater above, and a channel without seawater emerged, and Akainu and Kizaru jumped out. Seeing the figures of Akainu and Kizaru, the reporters on the news boat in the distance kept taking pictures. Because, the two of them were very embarrassed, with many wounds, bruises, and blood at the corners of their mouths. Being slapped constantly made Akainu and Kizaru very embarrassed, but right now the focus must be on Lupu. Akainu said in a deep voice. You are very strong, beyond our expectations, but it cannot change the outcome of your defeat. Lupu laughed and looked down. You want me to lose? 2 admirals are far from enough. Come on, it can warm me up. It's too boring to go to sea until now. This shocked everyone around. The 2 admirals, Lupu actually said to warm up. Akainu was angry, and Kizaru was also angry in his heart. Akainu roared, and the magma burst out in both arms, which was extremely huge. The temperature in this world suddenly rose, and the sea water was evaporating. Kizaru's whole body was full of golden light, and his arms were crossed in front of him, ready to fight with all his strength. Akainu roared. Don't underestimate me. First am Marine Admiral. No one can beat 2 admirals together. No one can survive or escape from the hands of 2 admirals who are going all out. Lupu looked down from above as if looking down on everything, indifferently. There was nothing before, but now there is. Chapter 060 Akainu Kizaru's Doubtful Life. Just to warm you up. What a shame. Akainu was angry, and Kizaru was also in a bad mood. He underestimated him too much, after all, he was Marine Admiral. Kizaru moved first, and the elementalization instantly appeared above Lupu. 8-foot Chong Guyu. Whoosh whoosh. In an instant, dense light bullets fell from the sky, and they were bigger than before. After all, Kizaru is at full strength, and the power of sparkling fruit is maximized. In this state, his physical strength is consumed very quickly. After all, the fruit ability has been raised to the maximum, but the speed and power are also stronger. And below, Akainu's arms erupted with magma, blasting out together. Great eruption. Terrifying fists blasted out one after another, and 2 extremely huge lava blasted towards Lupu in the air one after the other. All of a sudden, 2 powerful attacks struck from above and below. The attack range is very large and the power is extremely strong. Akainu's great eruption, just one, can instantly melt a large iceberg, let alone 2 now. Above, Bachi Chong Guyu attacked first. The news boat kept filming, and everyone watched intently. People in Logue Town talked a lot. Admiral made his move. So fast, so strong. In the face of the siege of 2 admirals, Lu, 150, who didn't dare to be careless. Warming up must be an exaggeration, because the general's attack is too terrifying. I regret being a pirate. In front of Admiral, I am as insignificant as an ant. Everyone watched intently. Kizaru's attack came first, densely packed. Lupu was indifferent, glanced at the top, stepped on the air, and the extremely outrageous moon cloth exploded, soaring into the sky in an instant, stretched out his right arm, clenched his fist, and blasted straight up. Kizaru doesn't panic. This is the 8-foot Chonguyu released by the sparkling fruit with all his strength. The number is more dense. There are tens of thousands. Each light bullet is extremely powerful. Lupu will definitely be hindered, and even trauma falls, and then faces the double great eruption of the crushing dog. However, the next moment, Kizaru's eyes under the sunglasses widened and his pupils shrank. I saw that Lupu soared into the sky, blasted out with a punch, and the dense rain of golden light bullets was instantly scattered by the punch. It collapsed and disappeared immediately. Lupu's fist and figure quickly zoomed in on Kizaru's sight, making Kizaru startled and uneasy. The body elementalized, quickly dodged and moved to a wreck of a warship on the sea, stood shoulder to shoulder with Akainu, and breathed a sigh of relief. However, Huang Yuan had no time to be alarmed. As Kizaru elementalized to dodge, Lupu changed direction and swooped down, as if anticipating his move. This let him know that the observation haki who foresees the future, but the observation haki invalidation, is too tricky. But, don't panic, just swoop down, just in time for Captain Akainu's giant lava punch that rushes up and down, which is extremely powerful. Even if it can't hurt Lupu, it can still hinder him. So, he and Akainu have time to act. Kizaru's hands are spread out, and the lightsaber is condensing, which is even bigger. It can be called a giant sword. The sky follows the clouds. Akainu's whole body magma erupted, ready to go all out to continuously blast out more intensive great eruptions. However, they were wrong and it was too late, even with 2 great eruptions standing in the way of Lupu. However, it cannot be hindered at all. As Kizaru fell, Lupu rushed over the lava fist, which instantly met the huge iceberg melting lava fist against Lupu's black entangled overlord fist. The size contrast between the two is huge, but the giant lava fist hits Lupu's fist and explodes immediately. It splashes in all directions. Moreover, sparks splash in all directions in the form of dense slag, which is very gorgeous and blooms in the air. Immediately, the second giant fist of lava hit Lupu's fist, and the same thing happened. Blooming, brilliant sparks filled the sky. Lupu's speed is extremely fast, and Akainu's 2 great eruptions can't hinder Lupu at all. Before Kizaru's Tiankongan sword was fully condensed, and Akainu hadn't condensed to attack again, Lupu had already rushed in front of them. Lupu's figure in the line of sight did not gradually enlarge, but came to them in an instant. The speed was too fast. Too late to attack, too late to dodge, Lupu's sarcastic voice sounded. Kizaru, Akainu, your attacks are a good firework display. While feeling angry, Akainu and Kizaru couldn't dodge and punch directly, but Akainu's magma arm hadn't come close to Lupu, and Kizaru's light speed kick had only just lifted up, and the expressions of the two of them suddenly changed, and their heads sank suddenly. They even lowered their heads, as if bowing their heads to Lupu. The heads of Akainu and Kizaru were held by Lupu's left and right hands respectively, making it difficult for Akainu and Kizaru to resist, and the magma and flash elementalization on their bodies also failed. For a split second, Akainu and Kizaru felt uneasy and their pupils constricted. Lupu shouted in a low voice. The bottom of the sea is falling. Boom. Clatter. Advertisement. The sea water splashed in two large areas, a full 100 meters high, and two wide and deep depressions appeared on the sea surface. Akainu and Kizaru rushed up from the bottom of the sea within less than 10 seconds, and fell into the sea again, and it was more serious than before. From going up to falling into the sea again, it took 7 seconds to speak, and less than 3 seconds to fall into the sea. This fight again was too fast. It happened in a blink of an eye. Long, Ace, and Vista were stunned, and the others were dumbfounded. It was too fast. From the time when both sides shot to the end of this round, Long could see clearly, at most 2 seconds. In 1 second, one punch broke the 8-foot Chonguyu, and in the next second, one punch broke the double great eruption. Immediately, both hands clasped Akainu's dog head and Kizaru's monkey head, and with one move, they fell to the bottom of the sea, and Kizaru and Akainu fell into the sea again, and the pain was even greater screams. In the next second, the entire log town was shaken, and the sea surface of the port was lifted directly, like an earthquake on the bottom of the sea. The impact caused the sea to set off huge waves with a height of 100 meters, and instantly made everyone in Log Town feel dark. The 100-meter huge wave that is about to rush down. The sea level has dropped a lot, on the one hand because of the tsunami, and on the other hand because of the emergence of two larger pits on the bottom of the sea. Everyone was even more horrified, it was too terrifying, and what was caused by every gesture was a natural disaster. In the next moment, Lupu appeared in the port, and the 100-meter high tsunami was scattered with a random shot. After all, Log Town will be its own territory. The people of Log Town breathed a sigh of relief and were saved. Horrible. A gesture of one's hand causes a natural disaster, and a slap of one's hand causes a natural disaster to collapse. It's not a capable person, it's so strong on its own. At this point, Kizaru and Akainu were confused. There was a burst of pain in the head, buzzing, and pain in the whole body. It was no longer bleeding from the corner of the mouth, but a big mouth, spitting out blood. The bottom of the sea roared, and in an instant, Akainu and Kizaru sank to a depth of 200 meters under the sea, causing severe pain all over their bodies. Once again, they were stunned, the two lying in the deep pit, horrified, their eyes dull. 0. How can it be? As a Marine Admiral, such a situation has never happened before. This time it is considered a real fight, but the disparity that emerges in my heart is unexpectedly so big. With terrifying speed and terrifying fists, their attacks are completely vulnerable, and they can't hurt Lupu Fenfu. And Lupu's attack was not as simple as making them suffer, but another heavy blow. How can it be so strong? How can the gap be so big? Even if Garp and Rocks surpass the peak, they shouldn't be this strong. They realized that it wasn't just a little better than the Rocks, it was a lot better than the Rocks. I'm Marine Admiral, I'm the strongest admiral, Sakazuki Admiral has medium attack power. Akainu found it difficult to accept that he, who had the strongest attack power, appeared weak in front of Lupu. Kizaru is also hard to accept. I'm a sparkling fruit user, and I'm the fastest in Admiral, but in less than 3 seconds, I was thrown into the bottom of the sea again by Lupu's punch, and I was hit hard again. Kizaru and Akainu, who were lying in the deep pit, lay side by side, turned their heads and looked at each other, both in the same distress. Not only Marine Admiral, but the two teamed up. Involuntarily, they remembered when they were in their early 20s, they were in the same period, and their teacher Zephyr taught them and fought with them. At that time, Zephyr was 42 years old. At the peak of their combat power, they were still young and not of admiral strength. The strength of the black arm Zephyr also quickly blasted the two of them into the ground, like an adult holding a child. But now, 30 years later, they are no longer young, but Marine Admiral, but such a scene still happens. Moreover, what they met was Xiaohui, who was extremely young, only 15 years old. Once again, they were shocked, hard to accept, and even doubted life. Is this real? The pain all over the body told them that it was real, not a hallucination. However, they would rather believe that it was an illusion, and would rather believe that Lupu is a person with the ability to manipulate illusions. This must be an illusion. However, they did not use any 5.0 abilities, relying on terrifying speed and fists to instantly beat them like this. As Marine Admirals, they are like adults holding children in front of Lupu. This made them unacceptable. How could such a thing happen in this world? It was too fake. How could they in Marine Admiral be crushed like this? Wouldn't it be worse if they were singled out? On the surface of the sea, the sound of horror continued. Long was shocked. It's too strong, stronger than me and Garp, and it's not even a little bit stronger. It's definitely higher than the king level, even much higher. In the future, we have to create a separate level for Lupu, and the god level is not an exaggeration. Long was extremely shocked, feeling like he was dreaming, and it felt very unreal. After all, no one could have imagined that Marine Admiral could be hanged like this. As powerhouses, they know the strength of Marine Admiral best. Long excited. Lupu, I am so proud to have a son like you. You will not show off and be proud because your father is the leader of the Revolutionary Army, but I should show off and be proud because my son is you. Quote. At this time, Ace stared at Lupu dumbfounded, and murmured. Big brother's strength keeps refreshing my cognition. Beasta was shocked and envious. Ace, I'm envious that you have such a big brother, the monster is outrageous. 061 Dark Hound. Akainu beaten by Lupu turned into a dead dog. Ace was very proud, and at the same time felt that Luffy must also be paying attention. Luffy, you must be as proud as I am. Our eldest brother's strength is far beyond our imagination. If Sabo is still alive, he will be very happy to see it. At this time, the news boat kept printing newspapers. Although they could hardly see them clearly, they captured all of them, quickly printed them, edited the text, and spread them. Everyone in Logue Town looked at Lupu as if they were gods. If so, Lupu made the first shot because it was too fast, coupled with knowledge, and hit Akainu and Kizaru by surprise. But this time, it was different. It was a real frontal collision. The two admirals joined forces for a powerful attack, but what happened once again shocked everyone. Moreover, every shock is stronger than the previous one. Unbelievable as always. It's quick, but you can roughly see what's going on. It's terrifying. Faced with the powerful up and down attack of two admirals, they were defeated so easily, and even Kizaru and Akainu were still severely injured, and they must have been severely injured. It's too strong, and the body's combat power is so fishy. I always thought that no one can beat two full-strength admirals alone. Maybe there are a few top players who can escape, but Lupu is completely hanging. Everyone thinks that no one can single out three admirals to survive, but now, even Lupu singled out three admirals. It is not Lupu who is in danger of life, but the three admirals. It's scary. It's too scary. Now it's just the overlord of East Blue because he just went out to sea. If he doesn't get killed in the future, he will definitely become the overlord of the entire sea. Can you become the king of the world? It may be possible to grow stronger, but it is impossible to rely solely on one's own strength. Although it is very strong, it is impossible to defeat 10 Marine and the world government by being strong alone. After all, there are too many strong people, and Marine Admiral is the least ranked. There are 6 or 7, and the world government admiral level is definitely not much less than Marine, and there are also mysterious 5 elders. Vegapunk is also a powerful force. Although its own strength is not enough, scientists will create a lot of powerful technological forces for Marine. So, it is impossible for Lupu to succeed alone. Even if he can become stronger in the future, it is impossible. Yeah, it's impossible for one person to single out so many strong men. The world is going to be shocked again. At this time, the announcer had already sorted out what happened just now, and saw it clearly by slowing down the screen. The voice of the announcer resounded all over the world again, and the tone was even more shocking. This made people all over the world even more curious. What happened to the more shocking world in the follow-up? 2 admirals, sure P********* D off. So, is Lupu the loser, or is he still the winner? Whether it is civilians, pirates, or even 4 emperors, they all pay great attention and listen quietly. Unbelievable, unbelievable, a sequel is coming. Real-time broadcast, not waiting for the end of the battle to broadcast, but directly broadcast what happens, because it is too shocking. Every time it happens, it is enough to shock the world. Kizaru and Akainu, from the bottom of the sea, rushed up and launched a powerful attack on Lupu with all their strength, claiming that no one can escape from the 2 full-strength admirals. In this case, even the 4 emperors agree. Lupu was still indifferent. This time, it was a real collision. Kizaru made a move first. After all, it was a sparkling fruit. The dense and terrifying 8-foot Chonguyu fell, but was crushed by Lupu's punch. Kizaru panicked and dodged. In an instant, Lupu swooped down. Kizaru doesn't panic, there is great eruption blocking him, so he can take this opportunity to join forces with Akainu to attack the opponent. However, the attack didn't have time to condense, because the double great eruption of Akainu's terrifying power was directly pierced and shattered by Lupu's fist in an instant, like fireworks blooming in the air. Lupu satirizes the attacks of Akainu and Kizaru's 2 admirals, which are suitable for fireworks show. Quote. Lupu's fist is too terrifying and too fast. It came before Kizaru and Akainu could concentrate their attack. It was difficult to dodge. It was too late to counterattack. To be precise, Lupu was too fast. The heads of Kizaru and Akainu was directly held by Lupu's left and right hands. Remembering that the seabed fell, Akainu and Kizaru were severely injured again, and even more seriously, they sank into the sea. This is the second round. Lupu is too scary, and he is still crushing. Wait for the new battle. In an instant, the world was even more shocked. Everyone looked at each other in blank dismay. It was terrifying. It's too strong. I can really single-handedly beat 2 admirals. More monsters than ever before. Even monsters are not enough. Too strong. Marine will fail this time. It was bound to fail, and I was completely hanged and beaten. Even, the battle won't last long, will it? Great. With such terrifying strength, I hope he can succeed. This time, the momentum was so great that Marine would be ashamed. Lupu is more famous. I'm curious, how much will Lupu's bounty increase to? I don't know the specifics, but it will definitely break the record. With such a dangerous idea, and such a terrifying single-body combat power, it will definitely break the record. Follow up. Hurry up, I'm looking forward to it more and more. Windmill Village. Luffy was constantly shaken, proud. Brother, the gap between me and you has not narrowed, it is still very big. It seems that I still have a long way to go to catch up with my brother. Luffy felt that he still had to become stronger. His brother was so powerful, so he couldn't be too weak. Luffy was completely relieved. After 2 rounds of fighting, it became clear that the 2 admirals worked together and went all out, and they were no match for his brother at all. Advertisement. Makino, Nami, Nuo Chigao, and Kaya felt more relieved and worshipped even more. Lord Lupu is a god. At this time, a beautiful girl with blue long hair listened to the radio and was shocked. She was Vivi. So strong. The 2 admirals are not opponents at all, so Shichibukai Crocodile is definitely not his opponent. Vivi's eyes lit up, as if seeing hope. Knowing about Lupu will save islands and even countries in distress, and her country is very dangerous. Crocodile wants to overthrow Alabasta. She is powerless, and if she continues like this, she will definitely be subverted by Crocodile. But now, she sees a lifeline, and that is Lupu. Vivi is very happy, so strong, but also extremely righteous. Maybe she will help herself. Vivi swears, I must find Lupu. At this time, New World, 4 emperors were even more shocked and too strong. It's not just as simple as being a little stronger than rocks, but crushing the 2 admirals with all their strength. They are much stronger than rocks. Whitebeard felt more and more that he was too strong to be Lupu's father. At this time, the red hair felt that it was a little ridiculous that he wanted to let Lupu join them. Now it seems that even he and the red hair pirates are not qualified at all. The red hair exclaimed, it's too strong, it's very reasonable to reject us. I'm afraid, one person is equivalent to our entire red hair pirates. Usopp was surprised. Lupu is very strong, but, Tushin, are you exaggerating a little? Boss is aware of our strength. Lupu is very strong alone, but he can't beat us as red hair pirates alone. Conqueror's Haki is powerful, but it will be resisted by the boss Conqueror's Haki. Our combat power will not be reduced much. Even if there are only old Yamato and Escadrilles left, we will definitely have an advantage together. We are the twin emperors. Beckman's eyes were wise, and after pondering, he said, at least they can be 50-50 with us. At this time, Whitebeard and the captains are completely relieved, too strong. Ace is safe now. Admit that I offended brother Ace just now. We were very angry just now, we were wrong. Whitebeard smiled embarrassingly. La, it's wrong to blame him. It's not stupid, it's extreme self-confidence. It won't put Ace in danger, on the contrary, it's safe. Marco said. Ace is going for nothing, but it's okay, they haven't seen each other for a long time, and we will get together later. Joe said. Ace is by his elder brother's side, very safe, and in our Whitebeard pirates, it is also very safe, even safer. Lupu is very strong, but Ace is with us, some of them are daddy and us, and too many brothers and sisters. Marco agreed. Although Lupu is very strong, it is natural that Ace is safer with us. If Ace is captured by Marine and rescued, then our Whitebeard pirates must play a greater role. Father, you say yes. Whitebeard is non-committal. Lupu is strong, but not so strong that one person can beat a Whitebeard pirate group. When Ace is caught in the future, they must exert greater force and play a greater role. Although Marco said what if, but Whitebeard knows that if Marine knows, he must catch Ace. But, if this day really happens, then don't wait for Big Brother Ace to rescue, let him, the old man, and their Whitebeard pirates come to rescue and do their best. Whitebeard thought to himself. If it really happened, then to save Ace, of course I, the father, should do my best and bear the greatest responsibility. However, when the Summit War breaks out later, will it be as they thought? At this time, Naval Headquarters. Garp felt very refreshed, and even ate the senbei, which was crunchy, and Sengoku frowned. Too strong. One punch broke Bachi Chonguyu, one punch broke Double Great Eruption, and then clasped the heads of Akainu and Kizaru with both hands, and hit the bottom of the sea again. Seeing Garp in a happy mood, Sengoku was very angry and scolded. Garp, why did you teach him everything? What a monster. Garp shrugged. Who would have thought he was so powerful? Sengoku had no choice but to know it before. Garp taught his grandson Lupu. I don't care, it's fine to be a marine, it's okay if I don't, it's impossible to be as strong as Garp at the age of 19. Garp has no right to teach his grandson. But now, Sengoku was very angry, you taught such a monster. Mariajoy. The 5 elders also knew what happened and were shocked. What a powerful strength. Can the 5 of us team up to defeat him? Don't think about it anymore, even if he is very strong, he is still very dangerous. That's right, immortals will leave the people. Even if Lord I Am is among the flowers, you don't need to do it yourself. It's enough to rely on Uranus. Let that kid be majestic for a while. At this time, Logue Town is under the sea. Akainu was so murderous that he couldn't be hanged anymore. With that move, I can't defeat you, but I will bite off a bite of your flesh. Dark Hound. Chapter 062. Lupu carries the Dark Hound without injury, the strongest creature. The more Akainu was hanged and beaten, the angrier he became. Even if it's hard to catch you, I still have to shed your skin. Otherwise, Marine Admiral won't have any dignity. Akainu felt that it couldn't be like this, they couldn't be hit hard again, they had to do something, and they had to inflict some trauma on Lupu. Otherwise, it would be a shame. Being hanged and beaten constantly, pirates will still be afraid of them in the future. The deterrent effect on pirates will definitely decline, and they will feel that their Marine Admiral is nothing more than that. Corsalino, do everything you can, if you can't win, you have to show the majesty of our Admiral. This is too embarrassing and shameful. Kizaru is also upset, yeah, it's too embarrassing. At this time, Impel went down to the 6th basement floor. The newspapers were delivered, and they couldn't wait. However, after seeing it, no matter whether it is near the legendary level or the legendary level, they are all sluggish. Are you kidding me? Conqueror's Haki destroyed Buster Call in an instant, and the elite Vice Admiral was stunned. Among us, most of us are well aware of the horrors of Buster Call, only to be destroyed by his Conqueror's Haki. That's outrageous, too. However, what they learned was not up to date, and newspapers kept coming. After seeing it, legends like the Red Earl, Bullet, and Burndy World were stunned. Hey, Are you still joking? Is this newspaper too fake? Punch 2 admirals into the bottom of the sea with one punch, and hit them hard. Rocks are not that strong. The Red Earl can't even do it. They are extremely shocking, and their single combat power is too strong. However, the latest newspapers arrived. These big pirates lay back and read the newspaper, stunned again. Everyone had a thought in their minds, and they all exclaimed. This newspaper is getting more and more outrageous. Not a little bit better than the rocks, but a lot. I'm only 19 years old. We think there will be one more inmate, but we are thinking too much. Rocks didn't do it back then. They didn't fight 5 elders, they didn't even fight Marine with the highest combat power, but Roger and Garp teamed up, and he lost. Wanting to be the king of the world seems very far away. Marine and world, the government's combat power is too strong, but with his words, it may be possible. With us joining, it is possible. Will he come to impel down? Attract big forces. Maybe it will come. After all, it is impossible for one person to do it. It's much better than the king class, but it can't be done. It's good. I believe he will come. We are here waiting for him. Our strength. I believe he will come. They are very happy. Such monsters appear, and they have the idea of becoming the king of the world, so they must grow stronger and will inevitably form the lineup of Liuqiao rocks at that time. So, believe it will come. At this time, Logue Town. Long, who was stunned at first, Admiral is going to do it again. After Lupu slapped the tsunami away, he rushed to the sea and was about to punch down, thinking that the battle with the 2 admirals should be over. Although it was just the beginning and only 2 rounds, Lupu felt that it was almost done, there could be no more, and it was time to end. Even if there are some reservations, the strength 7 times stronger than Garp's peak can quickly end the battle even if there are some reservations. But, suddenly, a fiery red figure of magma rushes out of the sea below, which is extremely ferocious. Akainu's face is completely composed of magma, accompanied by Akainu's ferocious roar. Vent all the anger in my heart, the shame just now and the pain in my whole body with this move. Dark Hound. Backquote. This move is extremely powerful, and Akainu is confident that even if it cannot hit Lupu severely, it will definitely hurt him. Even serious injuries are possible. Injure him twice, then it is Lupu's turn to show the majesty of Marine Admiral in front of the world. Lupu naturally knew this trick. In the original plot, this blow knocked off half of Whitebeard's face. The speed is very fast, and the extended lava fist attack makes it difficult for people to dodge. However, Lupu's knowledgeable color and speed can be avoided completely. But, do you need to hide? Of course not. Akainu was so excited that he couldn't dodge it, so this punch that landed on Lupu's face would definitely injure him severely. Lupu's speed and strength are very strong, which is the reason why he hit them hard twice in a row. However, it is impossible to withstand his own punch with his own defense. Even if Kaido faces it, he will be injured, let alone Lupu. So, Akainu was about to hit Lupu hard. However, Lupu blasts out with a punch, and Conquerors entangles. The 2 bombarded each other, there was no stalemate, and Dark Hound collapsed directly. Advertisement. But, Akainu smiled coldly, and another punch was ready to go, and it had a trajectory, coming from the side where Lupu punched, and hitting Lupu's right cheek. Lupu raised his left hand to blast to the right, but at this moment, Kizaru attacked. The Tiankongan sword is well condensed and huge, it can be said to be the giant sword of Tiankongan, it cuts out directly, and the sparkling fruit stimulates ultimate. With Kizaru rushing out of the sea, above Lupu, he grasped the great sword of Amakongan with both hands, and slashed down, aiming at Lupu's left hand that was about to attack. Slashed out from far away, but because ultimate urged sparkling fruit, this sword slashed out, spread and lengthened instantly, and under the horrified eyes of everyone around, it turned into a 100-meter-long golden giant sword, instantly cut to Lupu's left arm. Lupu's left fist slammed upwards, and with a roar, it collided with the severed golden long sword light. With a click or more, the golden sword light shattered. This shocked Kizaru. His fist was as terrifying as ever, and the attack power of his sparkling fruit was also very strong, but he was crushed by a punch like this. However, I am mainly an assistant, so that Akainu's attack can successfully hit Lupu. In order to prevent Lupu from crushing the Dark Hound of his other hand, Akainu's right foot magma erupted and kicked hard. Lupu kicked the same kick and blasted out. At the moment of the collision, Akainu let out a scream, not only his fists, but also his feet were strong. It hurt him instantly, and he felt like his leg was about to break. Kizaru also understood Akainu's intentions, elementalized to Lupu's side, his right leg was shining with golden light, and ultimate urged the light speed kick under the sparkling fruit. Boom. With one kick, Lu Zeng immediately kicked out the other. At the moment of the collision, Kizaru also let out a scream, the power of the powerful kick at the speed of light was still lost to the strength of Lupu's fists and feet, and the attack collapsed. Ah! With 2 screams, Akainu and Kizaru were kicked out and flew out continuously along the sea. However, even if it hurts, they kept their eyes fixed on it, because, it was done, and the goal was achieved. What they want is that Lupu can't counterattack the Dark Hound, so when Lupu wants to defeat the Dark Hound, Kizaru Amakongan's huge sword slashes to block it, and at the same time, the 2 of them kick each other, so that Lupu can't move his hands and feet at all go crush that second Dark Hound. At the same time, it also makes Lupu unable to dodge. Then, this Dark Hound will definitely hit Lupu's right cheek. The Dark Hound is powerful, even Lupu has a powerful armament haki and a strong body, but it is impossible to be stronger than the strongest creature, the Dragon Man Kaido, after all, is a human body with a mortal body. Therefore, it must be hit hard. Seeing that the Dark Hound was so close to Lupu's right cheek, Akainu sneered, feeling much relieved. Lupu, your speed and strength are so strong that you can hit both of us Admiral hard many times. But, your defense can't be as terrifying as it is. Strength and speed can be cultivated, but the physical body is born with a limit. Even if armament hockey is very strong, it is impossible to face this punch unscathed. After all, he was severely injured. Akainu is very confident that he will be seriously injured. He and Kizaru did their best to fight back the serious injury, to win back the face of Marine in front of the world, and to maintain the deterrence of Marine Admiral. Kizaru was also happy and relieved. After all, as a Marine Admiral, it is too shameful to be hanged and beaten like that, and continue to be hit hard. Although he was seriously injured for the third time, and the injury became more and more serious, but fortunately, they also changed, and it will not be so shameful. This time, Lupu can no longer be majestic. The world will also see how powerful Admiral is. Even the mighty Lupu will be severely injured in the face of the all-out siege of the two admirals. Aware of Akainu's strength, Kizaru felt that Akainu's Dark Hound hitting Lupu's face might cut off half of Lupu's head. Even if the defense is terrible, then it must be able to cut off some flesh on the right side of Lupu's face. Then, the injury and embarrassment are not much better than him and Akainu, and they will save some face. Akainu, who was flying upside down, stared closely. Although he was in pain, he grinned ferociously. Lupu, it's your turn. Kizaru is also staring, about to be hit hard. At this time, Long's expression changed in surprise, Zhao Hao Hao, and he wanted to help, but it was too late. Wufa blocked the blow, and it was about to land on Lupu's face. Long exclaimed, worried in his heart. Lupu. The speed and strength are very strong, but it does not mean that the physical defense is also so terrifying, because it is difficult to improve this point. The power of a punch can smash an island or a huge mountain, but if such an attack falls on the body, then it is impossible for the defense and strength to balance out equally. It is impossible for any strong person's defense, the physical body, to match the strength and speed. Even the strongest creature Kaido is the same. What's more, Kaido's strongest creature relies on its fruit ability, which is a dragon. And Lupu is a human body. Even if he hones his body and has a strong armed force, he will not be equal to his strength and speed. So, this Dark Hound is very dangerous. Long felt that if he was hit by the Dark Hound, he might be killed by the project. So, very worried. When Ace saw it, his complexion changed drastically. He was extremely worried, thinking like a dragon. Ace rushed over, although he couldn't catch up, but he rushed over and shouted desperately. Brother. But, the next moment, Ace stopped abruptly, his face changed. Dragons, too. Akainu and the yellow ape, too, their faces changed in surprise, their eyes widened, as if they had seen a ghost, they couldn't believe it. The next scene will shock the world even more. 063 Lupu, the strongest duel. The strongest creature. How can it be? Both Akainu and Kizaru's faces changed drastically, unbelievable, the most unbelievable one. The shock in my heart was greater than being severely injured by a punch just now. They were dumbfounded again. I saw that Akainu's Dark Hound landed on Lupu's face. Lupu armament hockey covered the whole body, the flesh muscles swelled, and the defense power reached the strongest. After the roar, everyone was stunned. I saw that Lupu's bombarded face didn't have any scars, let alone a piece of flesh and blood, there was no wound at all. The only effect was to burn off a few of Lupu's hairs, and no other damage was done. The color of Lupu's body armor faded, he touched his face with his right hand, and sighed softly. It was a little hot and painful, but it only hurt for 2 seconds, it was neither painful nor itchy, and the skin trauma was not considered. This made Akainu unbelievable. How could it be possible? It was Dark Hound. Even if he is an emperor-level powerhouse, he is confident that if he is hit, he will definitely lose half of his head. Lupu is very strong. I have imagined that Lupu must have a strong defense, so it is enough to cut off a piece of flesh and blood, but I did not expect it to be traumatized. None, completely resisted his own Dark Hound, no injuries at all. This is impossible. Akainu is most aware of his blow, but it was such a result that he was hit hard. After being hit hard by Lupu, they were stunned and doubted their lives. Now, they have resisted Dark Hound without injury, and Akainu has been hit even harder. It is unbelievable that his cognition has been broken again. Even Kaido is unlikely to be unscathed, or even severely wounded. And Lupu was unscathed, which means that Lupu's physical body and defense far surpass Kaido. Just as the strength is far superior to them, Lupu's defense and physical body are not inferior. How is it possible? How can it be done? At this time, that is, 730 is Akainu, feeling a little hopeless in his heart and feeling powerless. Kizaru was shocked, even apprehensive. It's a monster that I've never seen before. It really scares me. Sakazuki, the two of us teamed up, it's impossible to be his opponent. I'm afraid we have to take him down. You and Kuzan, plus Sengoku, Sora, and Garp, will be able to. It's possible, and only possible. So. Kizaru flinched, intending to retreat, but was interrupted by the pressure dog. I'm afraid it won't be easy for us to evacuate. With such a big gap in strength, will it be easy for them to escape? Akainu's heart was heavy and his face was ugly. It was a shame for them to escape from this battle. Kizaru is powerless, even desperate. If the defense is not so terrifying, it's okay, there is still hope, but the defense is so strong, I am afraid that he will have to hit him many times before he will suffer some skin trauma, but we have already done our best to hit him just now, but the result is not good. Yes, is he really a human being? Why is his physical defense so strong? His appearance will make Kaido feel ashamed. The scene just shown will directly take away Kaido's title of strongest creature, and even take the title of singled out the most single. If it's just strength and speed, it's hard to say, but now, Lupu's physical body and defensive power are equally terrifying, so even Kaido can't compare. I can't figure out how to do it, is it a natural monster? Horrified, the dragon was shaken again. Lupu's physical body is also so strong. What kind of monster did I give birth to? 11 feet. Long was pleasantly surprised, more and more relieved, although Lupu's thinking is dangerous, and he will definitely face more and more dangers, but he feels relieved a lot. Lupu is too strong. Strength, speed, physical body, and defense are all terrifying, so perfect. Lupu, I am so proud to be your father. At this point, Ace stopped, completely relieved, shocked. Brother is fine, too strong. I am constantly being refreshed about the strength of Big Brother. Big Brother, you have hidden so deep, the gap with you has not narrowed, but as it's getting bigger and bigger. Ace is very happy, the eldest brother can be so terrifying, strength is king in this world, he feels relieved a lot. Ace smiled wryly. My worry is really unnecessary, it should be my elder brother who is worried about my younger brother, not my younger brother who is worried about my elder brother. Beasta couldn't believe it. It's horrible, it's too scary, and the physical defense is just as scary. Once again, it shocked the world even more, and Kaido was the most shocked, because the title of the strongest creature does not belong to him, including the title of the strongest singled out. Even if they didn't fight, if the news spreads, anyone will know that it definitely doesn't belong to Kaido, even, far more than Kaido. The people on the news boat were restless again. Shocked every time. Print quickly, broadcast quickly. Everyone in Logue Town was stunned, it was too scary. Unharmed. That's Admiral Akainu's powerful attack. It's outrageous. This third round directly weakened both admirals. The speed is so fast, the strength is so strong, and the physical defense is so terrifying. How can the two admirals fight? There is no way to fight. It's not Lupu who escaped death, it's the two who fell from the sky. It's horrible, it's not human at all. Lupu's defense and physical body are naturally inferior to strength, and strength is the strongest. Just like Garp, also the most powerful. But, after all, it is 7 times stronger. Just now, Lupu's strength and speed did not explode at full strength. Advertisement. However, the physical defense, armament hockey, broke out with all its strength, showing the current full-strength defense. Therefore, even a powerful attack like Dark Hound makes Lupu feel painless. In this battle, Lupu also wanted to witness how strong he is now, how strong he is 7 times stronger than Garp. Although it can be imagined, it is natural to experience it in actual combat. In the next moment, the world was shocked again, one wave after another. The announcer's voice sounded. Still unbelievable, a new follow-up is coming. It will shock the world even more. This shocked everyone and looked forward to it. The previous shock was big enough, but, is there a bigger one? Crushing Admiral for 2 consecutive rounds is already extremely shocking and unbelievable. What's even bigger? This world feels unreal. In the subsequent third round, Akainu and Kizaru tried their best to attack Lupu. Lupu's power and speed were above them. What they had to do was to attack Lupu as soon as possible and cause damage to Lupu. Otherwise, they would not be able to win. With all their strength, they also succeeded. Akainu's Dark Hound hit Lupu's face, and Akainu and Kizaru were hit hard and kicked out, but they thought it was worth it. They would hit Lupu hard and make Lupu fall off a piece flesh and blood. But it turned out. Everyone was shocked and looking forward to it. Admiral Akainu's powerful attack fell on Lupu's face, so it will also be injured. Could it be? They thought it was impossible. As it turned out, Lupu was unscathed. The physical body and armed body resisted the blow, and he was uninjured. Akainu and Kizaru worked hard, and Lupu lost a few hit chances in return for the greater damage. One hair, no harm to oneself. What? In an instant, the world was even more shocked. It turned out to be true. The strength and speed are outrageous, and the physical defense is also outrageous. It's horrible, not human at all. Both admirals will collapse directly. There was still hope, the strength and speed were terrifying, but after all, it is a human body, no matter how strong it is, it will be injured, not to mention Admiral's powerful attack, but it was not injured at all. I can think of the expressions of the two admirals at that time. Quote. It's outrageous. In this way, Kaido, the strongest creature, is nothing in front of Lupu. The announcer's voice continued to resound. This battle will directly allow Lupu to win multiple titles of the strongest. Even the whole world will not make sense. That is, the most attractive man in the world. The strongest single combat power. The strongest conquerors, the strongest, and, the strongest creature. All of a sudden, the titles of the 3 strongest in the world were taken away, Whitebeard, Redhead, and Kaido. The whole world agrees. Absolute. One person, so many titles. In this battle, Lupu's reputation is known to everyone. It's too scary. What is the Admiral class? The Emperor class or even the King class is completely inferior. Create an original level, surpassing the King level, the God level. In this battle, Lupu must win, and Marine will be ashamed. Strength, speed, physical body, and defense are all ridiculous monsters, how to fight. 2 admirals, it is impossible to defeat. It was even recognized before that absolutely no one can survive the battle of 3 admirals with all their strength, but looking at it now, let alone 3, 6 admirals are hard to kill. Die Lupu. If you don't make a song, you're done. It's a blockbuster. It's horrible, and I fully understand what Lupu is doing. I don't need to be afraid at all, and I don't need help at all. At this time, Kaido's face was extremely ugly. Sitting at home, all of a sudden, the title of the strongest one-on-one, and the title of the strongest creature in the sea, land and air are all gone. Even without my own consent, there is no need to go through my own consent and approval. The whole world has recognized that it is no longer myself, but Lupu. Damn it, you don't take me seriously. Lupu, if you want this title directly, I will definitely fight you. And in the next moment, Duo Yang's expression turned ugly. Logue Town. Lupu readily accepts, as it should. These titles, I accept. Chapter 064. Round 4, Lupu beats Akainu Kizaru. At this time, the red hair pirates were a little shaken, and it might be possible for Lupu to single out their entire group. The defense is also so terrifying. Kaido's defensive body will not be so terrifying. I saw his strength and speed just now, but I feel that the strongest one-on-one, the strongest creature may not be him. Because if the body's defense is not so terrifying, then it also has weaknesses. It must not be that scary. After all, it is not a special race, nor is it a person with abilities, so it is impossible for the physical body to cultivate to be equal to the strength. The strength and speed are very strong, but if the body defense is not high, then no matter how powerful you are after being severely injured, it is also extremely important to defend your body. Because, once seriously injured or dead, then no matter how strong it is useless. This is why Kaido is not the strongest, but why he is the strongest in singles, because he defends. With strong vitality, no one can defeat him in a long battle. Quote. But now, it is determined that Lupu's physical defense is also terrifying, surpassing Kaido, then Lupu is definitely the strongest and strongest creature in the new duel. Yeah, you don't need to fight Kaido, you just need to win the title from Kaido. To become the new number 1 swordsman in the world, a swordsman needs to defeat the current number 1 swordsman in the world, but Lupu doesn't need it at all, he will be recognized by the world, and he doesn't need to compare himself with Kaido to know. Stayed in the dark hound of Akainu. The officers of the red hair pirates were shocked, it was a monster. The red hair exclaimed, I never thought that Luffy's brother can be a monster to such an extent. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is a god. His strength, speed, and defensive body are all so terrifying, plus Conqueror's Haki, which is even scarier than me, what I have seen and heard killing, knowledge color, and armed color are definitely the strongest in the world. Combining these, it would be too terrifying, not to mention 2 admirals, even if 6 admirals teamed up, it would be difficult to defeat him. The redhead felt that even the 5 of them could hardly defeat Lupu. Even if the 6 go all out by themselves, it is difficult. He is only 19 years old now, and he is so terrifying, so how strong will he be in the future? The Whitebeard pirates. The captains became more and more shocked. Horrible. The defensive body is also so terrifying, it's too perfect. The most perfect human being is invulnerable. Being able to fight and carry is the most terrifying thing. The strongest man in the world is Dad, but if you want to give Lupu directly, you don't need to challenge Dad. The captains couldn't accept it, after all, in their hearts, Dad was the strongest. Other titles are worthy of Lupu, but the strongest man in the world, I only recognize Dad. Yes, Dad is the strongest in the world. Even if Lupu is called a god, Dad is the strongest in the world, just because of the horror of Paramesha shock fruit, Dad has the power to destroy the world, Lupu can't do it. Yeah, you can't destroy the world with your fists. At this point, Whitebeard shook his head. You don't have to praise me too much. If it's a one-on-one match, I'm not Lupu's opponent. Marco said. But Dad, Kaido is the strongest in heads up, but it is not the strongest in the world, but you, Dad. Lupu is the new strongest in heads up, which does not mean that he is the strongest in the world. Whitebeard said. Lupu's destructive power is not as strong as mine, but his overall strength is far stronger than mine. He can be regarded as the strongest man in the world. Whitebeard admits that in terms of destructive power, no one can match his shock fruit, not even Lupu's fist. However, being the strongest in the world has to be considered comprehensively. One's own knowledge, weaponry, conquerors, physical body, speed, and strength are invincible. Because, these Lupus are the strongest in the world. In one battle, he won multiple titles of the strongest in the world. This time, Lupu must be known to everyone, and even the bounty has increased greatly. Naval Headquarters. Sengoku's face was extremely ugly, so scary. Damn, the defensive body is so strong, so Akainu and Kizaru have no chance at all. Originally, I was thinking of trying my best to find a chance to hit him hard, so there was still hope, but it turned out that Lupu couldn't be hit with one blow. Well, the 2 admirals, who are no match for Lupu at all, have no hope at all. Like 2 vice admirals, except for Garp, it is impossible to kill an admiral. Garp was happy, excited, and more relieved. It was only now that Garp realized that he had just learned about his grandson, and he didn't know anything about it before. Garp said, Sengoku, don't blame me. It has nothing to do with my teaching. You can tell that Lupu is a natural monster, and being strong is inevitable. In this world, talent is very important, and Lupu is destined to be extremely powerful when he is born. Terrifying existence. Sengoku curled his lips. Without your teaching, even a natural monster with the strongest talent would not be so strong. You have a lot of responsibility. Garp said. I trained Lupu as a marine, but unfortunately, I didn't choose to become a marine. Sengoku also felt more and more pity. It would be great if it was Marine, he could wake up with a smile from his dreams. However, it's not necessarily hopeless. Advertisement. Sengoku is heartbroken. Garp puzzled. Huh, what do you mean? I want to try to see if he will choose to become a Marine. In that case, his dangerous thoughts can be treated as if they never existed. As long as he becomes a Marine, what happened will be forgotten. In the past, I felt that Lupu was an Admiral class, and if he wanted to become a Marine, Sengoku would not agree, it was too late. With a bounty of 3 billion, he has such a dangerous idea that he wants to overthrow the celestial dragons, the world government, and become the new king of the world. Even if Lupu is Admiral level, Marine will lose face if he becomes Marine to avoid crime. But now, face is not important, and the opinions of the world are not important, as long as Lupu is willing to become a Marine, then what happened will not be blamed in the past. Just because the strength is too terrifying. Garp was also naturally moved. After thinking about it before, Lupu had such a dangerous idea, and even publicly said that becoming a Marine is hopeless. But now, so scary that even Marine would want Lupu to be Marine. Sengoku frowned. However, I can't decide, I have to ask 5 elders first. Even 5 elders can't decide. Garp has expectations, after all Lupu is so strong. Sengoku called to inquire. Ma Mariajoy, 5 elders on. Their faces were ugly, knowing that the 2 admirals must fail, and Lupu's physical defense is so terrible that the 2 admirals can't fight at all. 0 looking for flowers. However, don't panic, there is Lord I Am. Although Lord I Am is among the flowers, he can control Uranus, and it is not a problem to destroy the country with one move from a distance, so killing Lupu is possible. Sengoku, what's wrong? I have a proposal, I can discuss it with Lupu. It's not about winning or losing. What I want to say is that if Lupu is willing to become a Marine, then forget the past. As long as he is willing to change his mind, recognize his previous dangerous thoughts, correct his evil ways and become a Marine, do your best, then the reward for him will be lifted. If it was before, they thought that Lupu was Admiral level strength, they would not consider it at all, it was impossible. It is impossible to attract an Admiral class and make the world laugh. But now, seeing how terrifying Lupu is, they are all moved. There are many things we can decide, but this matter is very serious. That guy's potential threat is too great, and he has such a dangerous idea. It needs to be decided by Mr. Yim himself. We will find Mr. Yim now. Good. 0. Sengoku hung up the phone and waited for a reply. And soon, 5 elders went to IM and told him about it. IM not moved, but with a gloomy face, looked at the map, fixed his eyes on the Log Town on the map, and wrote Lupu's name on the map of Log Town. IM's eyes were cold. No need, although he is very powerful, but killing him will have a greater deterrent effect on the world. It doesn't matter if he can be so terrifying, he can make a bigger example of others, or he can to show my majesty even more. Therefore, it is my pleasure that he can behave like this and keep shocking the world. This way, it can show my strength even more. 5 elders thought about it, and wished. Whether it is to kill Lupu or not to kill and become Marine, it is beneficial to Marine and the world government. Moreover, Lupu may not necessarily choose to become a Marine. I am staring at Log Town and Lupu's name on the map, his eyes were cold and full of killing intent. The 2 admirals must be defeated. It's my turn to kill him with Uranus. The most shocking thing in the world is my Wong Wei. Everything Lupu has done is paving the way for me. It's a good thing. Got it. Apparently I am going to use Lupu as a stepping stone. The more Lupu's strength shocks the world, the more he will kill Lupu, the more shocked the world will be, and the greater the shock will be to the world, the pirates, and the revolutionary army. Let the world know how powerful he is, the apex of the world, the current king, the ruler of this world. 5 elders told Sengoku about Im's reply. Sengoku said it was a pity, but that's okay, nodded and hung up the bug. Garp's heart sank, knowing that he refused. Sengoku sighed. It's a pity that I rejected it, but it's okay, being killed by Master IM will shock the world even more, shock the whole world, and show the king's prestige. Garp's face was heavy, worried in his heart, even he didn't fully understand Im's strength and Uranus's strength. Lupu, I hope you're okay. At this time, between flowers. IM picked up the pen and crossed Log Town on the map, his eyes were cold, and he judged like a god. Monkey D. Lupu, Die Door. Chapter 065 Lupu 1 Punch vs Uranus 1 Punch. In Im's view, Lupu is very strong, powerful, strong in defense, and fast in speed, but Uranus's attack is bound to be impossible to bear. After all, the country can be destroyed. Windmill Village. Luffy exclaimed. My brother's defense is so strong, my brother is definitely the strongest creature. Luffy knew that his brother not only had strong physical defense, but also had strong vitality, even if he was seriously injured, it would not be affected. Just like myself, I injured myself heavily, but soon became alive again, this is all thanks to my grandfather, who was often beaten when I was a child. However, I am afraid that no one can make Big Brother seriously injured, Big Brother is too strong. Brother, I finally understand your strength. The gap is too big. I dare not say that you surpass my brother, but you can't be too inferior, and you can't embarrass your brother. My brother is so strong, so I can't be too weak. Nami, Nuo Chigao thinks that Lupu is like a god, so powerful, it is very lucky to know Lupu, and the village can be covered by Lupu. At this time, Log Town, due to the sea. Ace exclaimed. Brother, the defensive body is also so strong. After being shocked, Ace laughed, thinking that he had been a little ridiculous. I used to always think about surpassing my elder brother, but now thinking about it is too funny. My elder brother is really terrifying. As a younger brother, I thought I knew the strength of my elder brother very well, but now it seems that I am similar to someone who doesn't know my elder brother's strength. 590. Beasta has been numb from shock, and really wants to ask, Ace, is your elder brother still missing a younger brother? It's really shocking constantly, one wave is stronger than the other. Ace, your elder brother has a younger brother, so he must be very powerful too, right? Ace said. Luffy, you must be like me, you can't compare with Big Brother, but I believe you will be the strongest in the world. Vista looked at Akainu and Kizaru who were flying upside down, and said, it's not Lupu who is in danger. Worrying is unnecessary. The two admirals are in danger. Everyone on the news boat was watching closely. The announcer is the same, because he has to report the follow-up. What will happen next? 3 rounds, Akainu and Kizaru are already seriously injured. It's unbelievable. If two admirals were singled out, they could fight for a few days and nights, but now it looks like the injuries are serious. It's only 3 rounds. Yeah, less than 2 minutes have passed since the battle started. It took Admiral like that in 3 rounds, and Lupu was unscathed. The gap is too big. I thought it would be an intense and long battle, but for Lupu, it is not intense, it is easy, and I am afraid it will end soon. It's not a battle that lasts for 7 days and 7 nights. I'm afraid it will be 7 minutes. I'm afraid it won't be 7 minutes, the 7 rounds will be over, and the two admirals will be unable to fight. It's too powerful. There is actually someone who can fight so powerfully alone. There are many strong people in the world, but even those at the peak are not very different. There is no such a large fault, but the emergence of Lupu has caused such a large fault. In the next moment, everyone stopped discussing and kept their eyes fixed for a moment, but they couldn't catch it at the first time. 4. Out of sight, Lupu disappeared. As for Akainu and Kizaru, their faces changed drastically, and they felt uneasy. Lupu disappeared from their sight. As Admiral, they are all similar to those ordinary people, and it is difficult to catch them. While uneasy, Park Inu and Kizaru cursed secretly. Troublesome knowledge kill. In the inverted flight, Akainu and Kizaru tried their best to control and stop, quickly back to back, and observe the surroundings. But, when they reacted and saw Lupu, Lupu was already ready to go, and was above them. 4th round, end the battle. Lupu's voice resounded, shocking everyone. My god, round 4 is the end of the fight. It would make the world laugh at saying things like that at first, but after seeing Lupu's horror, maybe it can be done. Beating 2 admirals in 4 rounds is too terrifying. I didn't dare to think about it before, but with Lupu, maybe it can be done. Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Redhead, 4 emperors all out siege to defeat Akainu and Kizaru, it will take a day and a night. And Lupu, it only takes 4 rounds. Someone used to say that 2 admirals could be defeated in 4 rounds. Anyone who heard it would laugh and think it was the best joke in the world, but now, it may be true. Horrible. Quote. At this time, everyone was shocked, as if Lupu's words were inevitable, and Akainu and Kizaru would lose next. Hearing Lupu's words, Akainu and Kizaru were extremely ashamed. Beat them in 4 rounds. Even though Lupu is scary, it's not enough to beat them so quickly, they're not that bad. Even with 8 Whitebeards, it is impossible to beat him and Kizaru in 4 rounds, not necessarily in 4 hours, and Lupu needs 4 rounds. Akainu and Kizaru exploded with full power, their physical strength was consumed crazily, magma burst, and the dazzling light expanded. Akainu growled. This round will defeat us, don't be ridiculous. You are very strong and can defeat us, but you won't be defeated in 4 rounds. Kizaru said. Even if you lose, you have to lose face. 4 rounds is too shameful. We will do our best to meet your attack in the 4th round. As long as we don't lose in the 4th round. That's victory. Advertisement. Lupu smiled. Then, let's see if we can bear it. Lupu is already ready to go, his arms are bulging, his conquerors is entangled, his fists are pounding down, and he keeps attacking at an extremely fast speed, leaving behind afterimages. In an instant, Lupu punched, and afterimages were densely packed, as if Lupu had hundreds of hands, densely packed shadows of fists instantly appeared in front of him. Moreover, every fist shadow is this move. Fist bone. Galactic continuous impact. Boom 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 boom. In an instant, Akainu and Kizaru's expressions changed drastically, their pupils constricted, and they became more disturbed. Originally, I thought that such intensive attacks were normal. After all, the speed was so fast, so it was natural to be able to hit hundreds of fists in a short time. However, what follows will also lead to the fact that the power of each punch will not be as strong as before, and will be divided, but it must not be careless. It must be more terrifying than the previous 3 rounds of attacks. After all, it depends on the number, so the sum it's scary. However, Akainu and Kizaru felt that the power of each punch was not much different from the Galaxy Impact punch in the first round. Then, it would be too scary. It's only slightly worse, but the ones falling down one after another are hundreds of thousands of galactic impacts. They personally experienced the horror of Lupu's fist, which is much more terrifying than Garp's fist. Garp is an iron fist, so it is no exaggeration for Lupu to be called a magic fist. Now, with so much horrific punches raining down, Akainu and Kizaru understand why Lupu is confident this 4th round will knock them out. Lupu's fist bone galaxy continuous impact is too terrifying. But, even so, they couldn't lose so quickly. They could lose in the 5th round, but definitely not in the 4th round. Although losing in 5 rounds is also a shame, but if you can persist for a longer time, it will be longer. Therefore, they have to attack desperately. Akainu's arms erupted with magma, frantically driving lava fruit, and his fists kept blasting into the sky. Meteor volcano. The same dense rain of magma fists blasted upwards, and the power of each punch was extremely terrifying. Under the unprecedented pressure, he had already exploded to the limit output. 0. Similarly, Kizaru slashed the giant sword of Tiankongan quickly. Obviously there was only one, but in an instant, an afterimage was swung, not even an afterimage, just because the speed was too fast. Amazono Yun cuts at the speed of light. Waving at the speed of light, in an instant, hundreds of terrifying golden lightsabers slashed into the sky. Kizaru and Akainu, it can be said that they are both at the limit output, densely packed. And the powerhouses around, Long, Ace, were dumbfounded again, such a scene was too shocking. In the sky, dense fists descended from the sky, and below, dense magma fists and lightsabers rushed up, and the two were about to collide. Everyone in Logue Town and the people on the news boat saw it. This is a battle between the strong, and they kept taking pictures. In the next moment, the terrifying roar continued, shaking the heavens and the earth. Boom boom boom. The bombardment continued, and in an instant, Lupu's fists occupied the space. Although there were many attacks by Akainu and Kizaru, most of them collapsed in the blink of an eye, and Lupu's fists were almost approaching them. Ah, Akainu, the yellow ape screamed at the limit output, his eyes were cracked, the veins on his face were bulging, and he was hysterical. And Lupu in the sky kept punching downwards calmly. The attacks of Akainu and Kizaru couldn't keep up with the speed of being collapsed. The roar is still erupting, but there are already fist impacts constantly hitting Akainu and Kizaru's bodies. The body was in extremely severe pain, and the blood in the mouth kept spitting out. Under the severe pain, Akainu and Kizaru screamed at the limit output. They must not be defeated in 4 rounds, at least until the 5th round. Meteor volcano. The lightsaber kept blasting upwards, but it disappeared as soon as it was blasted out. The bombing approached them and exploded, and more fist impacts fell on every part of the body, face, and head. Every time a punch lands and hits a part of the body, a deep fist mark visible to the naked eye is directly sunken. In just 3 seconds, Akainu and Kizaru couldn't accept it and felt uneasy because they couldn't hold on anymore. In such a short period of time, each of them endured 30 or 40 punches. As an admiral, it's nothing 1.0 to endure 30 or 40 punches at the admiral level. They can fight for days and nights for a long time, but now, they feel that they can't take it anymore. The injury is too serious, and their consciousness has begun to blur, including their vision. Being able to continue the bombardment is entirely based on instinct and subconsciousness. However, this will not last long, in the face of Lupu's attack, at most 1 second. As they thought, during the roar, Akainu and Kizaru were blasted into the sea, and the two who fell were seriously injured to the point of being wounded all over their bodies and bleeding from their 7 orifices. It was not just a simple serious injury, but a serious injury that posed a great threat to life. And this, it's just 4 rounds, and that's it. In the 4th round, the 2 admirals teamed up and went all out to maximize output. They both lost, and it was an extremely miserable defeat. He fell into the bottom of the sea and passed out directly. At this time, the high-tech stealth boat on the bottom of the sea captured the fainting Akainu and Kizaru, and prepared to take the 2 admirals to escape. This was prepared by the world government, and it was obviously done by Suja Punk. Lupu sensed it naturally, and when he was about to continue attacking, Observation Haki noticed something suddenly appearing at a very high altitude, and landed an attack, which was very powerful. This made Lupu instantly think of the story in the comics, where I am destroyed the country with 1 move in the air, and destroyed the kingdom of Lulusia without leaving any wreckage, as if it had never existed. Lupu looked up, calmly. Even Uranus, who can destroy the country with 1 move, is no match for my fist. Chapter 066 I am confident, Uranus kills Lupu. At this time, Logue Town boiled again. Long became more and more proud. Too strong, you defeated 2 admirals in 4 rounds. Lupu, this is your self-confidence, this is your true strength. Long understood why Lupu refused to help him, and why he didn't plant trees for future generations to enjoy the shade. Because of Lupu's own strength, he might be able to do what he wanted to do. Vista is like a dream. Until now, it still feels like a dream. The 2 admirals teamed up and went all out, and they lost just like that, and their injuries were so severe that they fainted. In the next round, they might be able to kill Akainu and Kizaru. Ace wants eyes to shine and worship. Brother, you are so strong, like a god, Luffy, and I will never surpass you. In the past, Ace thought that it would be nice if he could be the big brother. After all, his personality makes it difficult to accept being the younger brother. But now, Ace thinks, it's good to be a younger brother, to have such a terrifying elder brother. At this time, the news ship quickly printed the newspaper, and the announcer continued to broadcast. They know that this battle is over. They didn't have time to be shocked, and they wanted to spread what they saw the first time to the world. At this time, the news ship of the Marine camp naturally wouldn't broadcast it, that would be too shameful. But, they don't broadcast, some people broadcast. The announcer's voice resounded all over the world, shocking everyone in the world even more. The shock value is constantly rising, without ups and downs. The 4th round is over, and this battle is also over. Hearing this, the world was shocked. The battle is over, could it be? Akainu and Kizaru, lost. 10 inches, how is it possible? Lupu is terrifying and is called a god level, but even so, Admiral won't be defeated in 4 rounds, right? Obviously it's true, and even though it's unbelievable what happened up to now, it's not fake. In the 4th round, what happened? Why did the battle end so suddenly? I thought it could continue for a while. The announcement resounded. In the 4th round, Akainu and Kizaru went all out and output to the limit, while Lupu also changed his moves, a continuous attacking move, and the fist bone galaxy continued to impact. As Lupu's fists blasted out, in an instant, hundreds of fists spread in front of him. The speed was too fast, so many fists were thrown out in an instant, even though each punch was less powerful than the galaxy impact of one punch, but it is only smaller, but its power is even more terrifying, and it will be a disaster for the 2 admirals to join forces. Because there are hundreds of thousands, so the combination is too terrifying, far more terrifying than the galaxy impact of one punch. And Akainu and Kizaru also understand that it is too shameful to lose in 4 rounds, and they have to carry it to 5 rounds. If they lose, that is also their victory. Akainu Kizaru was hysterical, blasting with all his strength, and the veins all over his body were bursting. It can be seen that the limit output has exploded. The densely packed lava fists and densely packed lightsabers slashed into the sky, colliding with Lupu's bombarded fists. Speaking of which, everyone had battle images in their minds. Lupu got more serious. At the moment of the bang, the lava fist and the lightsaber quickly collapsed. In the blink of an eye, the fist landed on the top of Akainu and Kizaru's heads. No matter how Akainu and Kizaru howl, how to limit the output, it is useless. The more space their attacks occupy, there will be fewer and fewer attacks, and those who attack will not be able to keep up with the collapse. Soon, they were constantly bombarded by Lupu's fists. In the blink of an eye, more and more fists landed on their bodies. It can be seen with the naked eye that their bodies are covered with fist pits, and their bodies are full of wounds, mouths, noses, and eyes. Ears and other places, all are bleeding. The stalemate didn't last long. The 2 of them each received 100 punches before sinking into the sea. They were seriously injured to the point of threatening their lives. They passed out immediately. This battle is over. Lupu defeated the 2 admirals in 4 rounds and joined forces, and the 2 admirals' fiasco. This shocked the world even more. After 4 rounds, it was over. Too horrible. The first time I saw Admiral being crushed like this, it was 2 admirals. Aokiji is here, and the 3 admirals teamed up, and the end is the same. Persist until 10 rounds of defeat at most. It's terrifying. With such strength, it's no wonder there are such dangerous thoughts. No wonder there is no need for any combination of forces. Because he can do it by himself, his influence will become bigger and stronger, and his strength will become stronger and stronger. It's over. Marine has lost all face in this battle. The campaign was supposed to raise the dignity of the Marine and world government, but it failed miserably, allowing Lupu to benefit from it. No one in Lupu knows about this battle. 2 admirals, you're going to die next. At this time, the 4 emperors were also shaking in the same way. The ant's face was gloomy, and the most unacceptable thing was 4. The 2 admirals teamed up and were defeated in 4 rounds, or a disastrous defeat, so if you were yourself, would you not be able to hold on for 4 rounds? To be honest, Big Mom doesn't think she can beat the 2 admirals together, so if she singles out Lupu, she will lose faster. This made him unacceptable, and he even felt that if he wanted to get married, it didn't matter whether Lupu would like it or not. At this moment, the redhead feels that it is not a problem at all for Lupu to support him as a pirate group. Usopp sighed softly. It's really dreamy, it's too unreal. Lajalu. Even if it's over, it's unreal that there can be such a terrifying existence. Beckman. Even though there are many powerful people in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in this world, I never thought that there would be such a terrifying one that would directly expand the fault. Admiral and 4 emperors punched Supernova one by one, while Lupu punched Admiral, is also a punch. The Whitebeard pirates. Marco and other captains were shocked and envious of Ace, who has such a panicked elder brother. Advertisement. I thought that Ace joined us, and after being taught by his father, he became stronger. We knew that he had a big brother, but we thought that Ace must be stronger than his big brother, but now that I think about it, the original idea was ridiculous. I thought Ace's biggest backer was Dad, but now it seems that it's his elder brother. No, it's the same. Ace's backing is our entire Whitebeard pirate group. Our entire Whitebeard pirate group besieged Akainu and Kizaru. I believe it can quickly defeat them. Whitebeard was happy. Hoo la la la, Ace is the luckiest thing in his life to have such a big brother. Ghost Island. Kaido's face is ugly, so strong. If I were myself, would I be able to withstand Lupu's attack in the 4th round? Definitely, the strongest one-on-one is definitely me. I can't match Lupu in attack speed, but my vitality and defense are definitely better. The strongest one-on-one is definitely me, and I can definitely drag Lupu until he is defeated. Although the title was taken away, Kaido vowed to get it back and challenge Lupu one-on-one. But, not now, we have to deal with Wano Kuni. Let's talk about taking Wano Kuni later. At this moment, Luffy is happy. Brother, I won. It's amazing. In 4 rounds, I defeated 2 admirals in such a short time. Makino, Kaya, Nami, and Nuo Chigao were very excited and happy. It was over, Master Lupu won. At this time, Vivi was also very happy when he heard it. It's amazing, Lord Lupu, I must find you. I hope you can help me. As long as you can help me, I can do anything. At this time, everyone in Logue Town noticed the change in the sky. The announcer's expression changed. Huh, isn't it over? This surprised the people of the world instantly. Isn't it the end? What happened? 2 admirals have failed miserably. How could that not be the end? What happened? Tell me quickly. I'm so anxious. Everyone in the world can't wait. Even the strong are scolding their mothers anxiously. However, the announcer couldn't see clearly, so he couldn't speak directly. Pu originally planned to give Kai 7 and Kizaru the last blow, but Bunshi's bow appeared at a very high altitude, and was already concentrating the attack. Lupu felt that it must be Uranus. It seems that I am is also involved, and the air-controlled Uranus is going to attack me. Long raised his head. Even he felt a sense of depression. What was on it made him depressed, and he felt a little uneasy. You must know that his strength is above Admiral, and he is now at his peak. The father in his prime was no match. The dragon's face changed, thinking of something. Could it be 137 Uranus? Uranus, the most mysterious and powerful of the 3 ancient weapons. The battle is not over. Ace, Vista also noticed it, looked at the sky, horrified in their hearts, and they were even more disturbed. It seems that if this kind of attack falls, they will be very dangerous. Ace frowned. What is it? It's too high to see. Vista is dignified. It's so depressing, so dangerous. What kind of existence can have such a strong sense of oppression? Could it be? Vista guessed. In the sky, there is such a terrifying sense of oppression. If you want to attack Lupu, then it must be the world government. Could it be one of the ancient weapons, the most powerful, Uranus? When Vista said this, the people in Logue Town panicked. Zhuang. The owner of the news ship was also terrified, and the voice of the announcer resounded. Could it be Uranus? This moment shocked the world. Uranus, one of the ancient weapons. Pluton, Poseidon, Uranus, all have extremely terrifying power. It feels like Uranus is the strongest. It's not over yet. Uranus is going to attack Lupu. What will happen? At this time, the announcer is well informed. If it's really Uranus, then it's difficult to say whether this battle will be won or not. 2 admirals have suffered disastrous defeats, but it doesn't mean that Lupu has won. Because Uranus may have appeared above the sky. It is said in the legend that a country disappeared in an instant, as if it did not appear, and this country seemed to have the idea of revolution, so it was guessed that it was wiped out by the world government. And at that time, someone saw it breaking the cognition, continuing the shocking scene. 10 six-paths rays descended from the sky, and immediately there was a bombardment, and the huge country disappeared in an instant, without any wreckage, as if it had never appeared before. So, it is very likely that it was the attack launched by Uranus, destroying the country with one move. It's too terrifying. The person who controls Uranus with one blow from Uranus is definitely a god. Between flowers. I am cold. The battle is about to end, but it ended with Lupu's death.